Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Nerd Rage Gaming Thursday Night Locals. And I guess it's King of the Hill tonight, but my name is Dan Hugar. I'm here with Rafal Gladitz. And Rafal, dude, we get to play the new format today.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a couple new decks to try out. Not a ton of new decks. There's only so many new things coming out in this set, but the stuff that is coming out looks pretty fun.
Exactly. So normally on Thursdays, as some of you may know who watch, we usually do locals. So we talk about some of the local players, see some gameplay. Well, tonight is pre-release. And as much as we all want to see everyone draw, attach, pass, we decided it'd be more fun to play with some of the new decks, especially Rafal, because we got a cool event Sunday.
Yeah, we have a charity event that I will unfortunately be missing that I'm very sad about, but it's my mom's birthday, so, you know, can't be too mad about it, right? We have a charity event where Pitch Black will be legal. We will be allowing players to play the new cards before they're even released. I know we've got some, release weekend tournaments going on, but we have a pre-release weekend tournament going on. We have a week before the set's even out. People will be able to play with it. If they pull that at a pre-release, they can bring it. If they have a high-quality printed proxy in color, where it's legible, if they put you on stream, that will also be legal.
Yes.
We're excited to see some new cards played because people have been really hankering for some new stuff to play since NAIC.
Well, that's the thing I'm excited for, because we were debating it, but like, if we got the new cards coming out, if we got pre-releases, I don't need to just watch Chaos Rising. I want to see some Excadrill. I want to see some hide and sneak. This is great.
I want to see if Festival leads the new BDIF.
Yes, it's not, but yes, I would be fascinated.
We'll find out tonight.
Well, it did win Master Ball, and I think it was Malaysia, right?
Somewhere in Asia, Singapore,
yes.
Malaysia.
So Southeast Asia did have Festival lead, and also Festival lead got top 4 in addition to that. So that seems pretty good. And so, Bryce, can you throw up some of the decks we're looking at? So for tonight, like I said, we're doing King of the Hill, and we have 8 decks that you and I and Eli and Kevin are all going to be playing and trying to show off. So, Rafal, which one would you want to start with?
I just keep looking at that Excadrill deck. I think it's very fun in theory. I've always enjoyed, it's not the best comparison. I really enjoyed our Chaladon Dialga, which this is not really that at all, but I like the fact that you could put you had a way to accelerate a ton of metal energy and make your dude just do 1,000,000 damage. And that's relatable here, right? And then we had Andrew Hedrick win a regional with that Metang deck paired with that Dialga. And this Excadrill is kind of the next, a new iteration of that. It doesn't take an extra turn with its V-Star power, but it does a lot of damage. It can one-shot any Pokemon in the entire format. It does 330 damage when it has 5 Metal Energy on it, which you can get very easily with that Metang's Metal Maker ability. And its first attack for 2 energy does 90 damage and mills 2 cards, which against some decks, I mean, as a Dragapult player, you hate losing random cards. Every card in your deck is so important. You don't want to lose a Night Stretcher or a Crispin off of a mill. So Excadrill is very strong in theory, but it's also a 3-prizer, so it'll be interesting to see how the meta adapts to that.
So I agree. I think it is very powerful. Weirdly has underperformed recently, but the card to the top left of your screen, Blaziken, may have something to do with that. But the deck I'm hyped to see is this hide and sneak deck at the bottom, because this is a deck that has literally all the counters to Dragapult printed on it. But I'm kind of curious to see how it does into the field.
Yeah, in theory, it's supposed to be Dragapult. If you put enough hide-and-sneak Pokemon into your discard, that Delmise with a Clefairy in play one-shots a Dragapult for 1 energy. But, that's a lot of little conditional things. You got to put cards in your discard. You got to have this Delmise in the active. You have to have a Clefairy out. And can Dragapult adapt to play around that? The answer in Japan seems to be yes, it can. Dragapult can adapt to anything. But, it's to be determined. There's only so many things Dragapult can adapt to. They were building around the mirror match for so long, playing Crushing Hammers and maximum consistency, and now we have Dragapult with Blaziken rising a little bit in popularity due to grass decks, due to things like Excadrill. But then you have Dusknoir coming back because of things like Festival Lead being good, because of Hide and Sneak. So what'll be the best Dragapult variant by the time Worlds comes around, we'll have to wait and see.
So since we're talking about our first set,
up to you guys.
I would like to see Mega Greninja, because you've been running that.
Yeah.
And then what else did you guys want to play? Okay. So let's do Mega Greninja, and then let's do that into, I don't know, what do you think would be cool? BFA? No, let's do something new.
I really wanted to play Slowking, low-key.
Do we have Slowking built?
Yeah.
Oh,
is it with Poffins, or is it?
Well, no. Why would you? You said you didn't even need Poffins.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. So you have the new Slowking built?
It's got Annihilate.
Yeah, great. Awesome. So then let's do Slowking versus whatever you think is cool, Eli. Go rip it.
That works.
It's got one.
You guys play some games and we'll go from there.
That's fine. We'll go with it.
We'll try it out. So there is a new Annihilate that Kevin's going to try out in Slow
Say it again.
King.
Is Excadrill fine?
Save Excadrill for him because I think he's super hyped about it.
Delmi's deck fine into it?
I don't know.
I can play Excadrill. I just don't know.
No, so I would say do Slowking into Polt Blaziken or Polt Noir. Because, like, let's go kind of one new, one old.
Okay.
And if you get cooked, it's fine. It's cool to show it off.
I've played like a game of Dragon Ball.
Okay, then go with Greninja. Just pick something you like.
I'll figure it out.
All right, we're doing great, guys. We're doing great, guys. Bryce, do you mind scrolling down comments over here? Thank you very much. There's at least one person that wants to talk to us, and I would like to be able to respond to them.
Yeah, so we're going to try out. We're going to have Dragapult with Dusknoir.
Yes, that looks like the one we grabbed.
Yes, against Slowking. And Slowking is going to be playing this new Annihilate card. There's an old Annihilate card that it was playing where both Pokemon get knocked out. You don't really need that anymore because you have Metagross, which just kind of knocks out your opponent anyway.
You just do 300. And I do feel bad when Kevin and the team were texting about this deck. I said, yeah, there's a new Infernape. Because in my mind, I was talking about Annihilate and said Infernape. And so Kevin told me today, Dan, what the heck were you talking about? What Infernape is new? And I just forgot Infernape's actually a Pokemon.
Wrong ape.
Correct, wrong ape. But we do have Annihilate. Like you said, Annihilate's kind of like Phantom Dive at home. So does 100 damage, and then you place 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So doesn't seem like a huge deal. But one of the best ways decks are going to play around Slowking is with Shaman.
Yep.
And you can do that and set up to counter Shaman relatively easily.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how decks adapt. We saw Slowking have a very good performance at NAIC, but the deck is, can be a little bit unpredictable, right?
Right.
Right, so would you want us back at the other table for our next game to show both players? Okay,
cool.
We'll swap around. Yeah, it's interesting because Slowking, in theory, I mean, you have essentially the two most powerful attacks in the game. It's maybe not the best comparison, but in some ways, I think you can kind of compare it to Regidrago V-Star, which had access to Curem, which had access to Dragapult, which is going to be your Annihilate, which is a very similar attack to Dragapult, which had Giratina V-Star, which was or Raging Bolt, which is kind of your, whoa, there's the Annihilate.
And that is exactly the Annihilate we're talking about.
Yeah, so, it's another deck similar to Regidrago in some ways in that you have a toolbox and you literally just choose what are the strongest attacks in the game. I'm going to use them. On the other hand, it is certainly no consistent.
So sorry. When you can you fix the comments? Keep going.
On the other hand, it is certainly not as consistent as Regidrago V-Star.
No, and I think that's one of the big hits and misses with Slowking. The power level is there. Anytime you can copy any attack in the game for non-rule box, but there's plenty of broken ones there. The amount of crazy things you can do is so high. The issue is trying to set that up on a stage 1 low HP guy over and over and over is a lot of work. So Kevin's going to try to pull it off here. Starting Kang is
all right.
Perfect.
That's what you want. Yeah, it's been interesting to see because there was a while where Kangaskhan, people did not really want to play it. There was a lot of good fighting decks in the format, and I think a lot of the fighting decks have kind of fallen off. No one's really afraid of a Garchomp or a Mega Lucario just blowing up your Kangaskhan, and now decks are playing as many as 4 just to maximize their draw.
And I think Sander was talking about this with Crustle back in the day like 2 months ago, with having a ton of these Kang just to ensure you consistently set up. Bellyboat Tombs. Whoa. What?
I don't know what that is.
I got nothing on that, Tim, but holy.
There's a new deck. We might have to find out about it. There are definitely players who will be playing our charity event this weekend with more fun in mind. We had some people mentioning certain decks that I don't know if they're any good, but I'm very excited to see people get creative. Obviously, there will be a booster box on the line for the winner of our charity event this Sunday, so stick around and join us for that. Anyone who's interested, come here on the stream Sunday morning to see that. But people are going to be playing a lot of interesting decks, I think.
So I do think there are some people that are going to be playing for real, because obviously Booster Box, ETB, those are real prizes, and at least one person has claimed they're going to be playing Whale Lord. And yes. I am very excited to see Whale Lord do well. And 13 degrees. I do not think I can accidentally send it, only because I will get fired if I do that. But if you want to come play. And we will have some really cool cards as giveaways on stream. So come join the stream. You can still get some cool stuff if you're in the continental U.S.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we are still kind of finalizing our prizing for like the giveaways when we meet certain charity goals. But if you follow us on social media, if you follow NRG TCG on Twitter, you will see that update. Hopefully shortly updated in the next day or two with the information for what you can expect to see given away on stream.
13 degrees. I would have been upset if you didn't try. Absolutely. But yeah, dude, would love to have you out here one day. And Eli, getting to the actual Pokemon here, Eli's hand is appalling.
Eli is being a voluntary mulligan. Eli was just telling us I don't really play Dragapult, and maybe he's realizing maybe this deck does not have the heart of the cards. It's not really with this deck for me.
So Eli is used to playing decks full of big basics. So to have a 70 HP basic is probably a little weird for him.
Yeah, well, no, he likes his Fano, Tom.
Okay, fair. That absolutely does not count. 100% does not count. But so in this matchup, kind of like we were talking about the pop-off power level for Slowking, the way Slowking wins is just by running over Dragapult before it gets set up. And so the trick for Eli, and this is really the trick for Pult into a lot of matchups, is can he get set up before Kevin does some crazy board wipe things?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Kevin's going to be able to not only get 3 mulligans, but also draw 2 cards to Kangaskhan. So he's going to have a lot of pieces to work with here. The issue with Kangaskhan, quite honestly, is just actually finding your Slowpokes.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. There's one that just came out in Pitch Black that has 70 HP, and I'm curious to see if people are going to start building this deck to be more based around Buddy Buddy Poffin, more of a consistent way to find your guys. But right now, your best way to find Slowpoke is to find one or put a Telepathic Energy to find more.
Well, so Tim Barrett, are you talking about tomes? Because to me, that seems like a really cool combination of using Belly Bolt to load something up and then Tome of Transformation into like a cool thing. I'm here for it, dude. That sounds sick.
Yeah, that sounds very cool. I think Tomes have been a card that is just starting to get explored. People are going to be doing a lot of really interesting stuff with it. Yeah, and we see here Kevin, he already has a Wondrous Patch in the discard, in the hand, so he discards that Psychic Energy and puts the Boomerang Energy on, so he'll be able to Wondrous Patch onto that Slowpoke, and by turn 2, he'll be ready to attack.
And I actually would really like to see, you're not allowed to do that, Kevin. I would, yes, okay, perfect, Tim, we are on the same page. I would really like to see Kevin use that Wondrous Patch now. And the only reason I say that is because there's a solid chance Eli item locks him, and being able to raw draw into a telepathic energy seems like a relatively low percentage chance.
Yeah. Quite honestly, the biggest issue that Eli's going to be, not Eli, but Kevin's going to be facing here is getting that Kangaskhan out of the active. Because usually your best way of getting it out of the active is by putting a telepathic energy onto a Slowpoke, getting a Latias with that telepathic energy, and that'll allow you to retreat the Kangaskhan.
Yes.
But he's not currently able to do that.
So one of the cards I think is really cool in this new set, you mentioned the 70 HP Slowpoke. That's it right there. It has, number one of the single greatest attack names of all history. For 1 Psychic Energy, you can use All You Can Yeet, and that allows you to discard as many cards from your hand as you want. Not as great in this deck. There is a Slow Bro deck that does something similar of All Out, where you attack with no cards in hand to do a ton of damage. But like you said, even just having 70 HP means this could open up other ways to build this deck.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. And then the Razor FPS, we're doing pretty good. We're having a lot of fun seeing some new decks on stream today.
Okay, so yes, 13 degrees, absolutely. That sounds sick. Send a message to our NRG TCG, the team account, because then Rafal or someone can take a look at that and we can see. But dude, thanks for looking at that. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Slowpoke that we're getting in this upcoming set in Pitch Black is, the reason we're getting a Slowpoke is because we're not getting a new Slowking, but a new Slowbro, which, like you said, is actually synergizes with this Slowpoke that discards any cards from your hand, because it does more damage if you have no cards in your hand, which is actually a reprint of a Grand Bull that came out like 7 years ago, which is crazy to say that.
That is insane. We are so old, Rafal.
Indeed. Yeah.
And you are a young man compared to me.
Yeah,
we are
in the middle of
so
the Sun and
old.
Moon sets, we had this Grand Bull deck, which, you know, TBD, any psychic attacker that can do over 160 damage, which is 320 with a Clefairy in play, has got something to it.
Non-Twitter way. Oh, that's an excellent question, 13 Degrees. Let me think about that, and then we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yes.
So we see Eli setting up here. He's able to get a Meowth into play, which, you know, you never want to bench that Meowth, but it's just such a powerful card. Gets his Lilies. I think he, gets a Buddy Poffin. So there we have Eli with a, you know,
honestly, a really good board for turn one. No, and this is fantastic. So Eli, what he really, really wanted was a couple Dreepy, a Duskull, and then a way to slow down Kevin with Item Lock.
Yes.
And I mean,
and that blinding card on the bench is the Budu.
Yes. And, like, this is about all he could ask for. He's got a Dracloak in hand. He's got another supporter in hand. Eli set up pretty well, and now he just has to kind of pray that Kevin doesn't get a telepathic out to Latias, Academy at Night, Slowking, Kyurem, which sounds like a lot, but when you get to Lily for 8 and then Kang for 2 more, there's non-zero chance Kevin just hits it.
Yeah, unfortunately. So I was actually going to say Kevin turn 1 discarded that Cypher Maniac, which I think is a super underrated card. I think he should have kept that because you can then choose your top deck. He does have a Meowth in his hand though, so I think there is some combination of like using Cypher Maniac with Meowth, or just draw another Cypher Maniac.
Or just draw a Cypher Maniac.
I think
it's
if he
just
puts,
that easy.
I think if he puts a Telepathic and a Kyurem at the top of his deck, he can essentially win the game here.
I would agree, and I hope he sees that play, because with the Slowking in hand already, the Academy at Night in hand already, like you said, all he needs is an out to Latias and a Kyurem, and he's got the attack to wipe all of the Dreepies from Eli's board. So now, Rafal, the question is, does he see it?
I don't know. He really wanted to play this deck. We'll have to wait and see, you know, how comfortable he is with it. He seems to be kind of putting it together in his head. You know, part of the fun of these King of the Hills is that some of us get to just play decks for the first time and figure it out as we go along. So a lot of this is all of us kind of learning these decks. But, you know, you and I have both been playing Dragapult for so long. It is nice to just kind of play something different and just kind of get a feel for what else is going on in the meta.
No, agreed. And I think Kevin is slowly piecing together, and he did not. We did not assemble the pieces. Now, granted,
but there's always the high roll.
There's always the high roll. Because also, to be fair, as much as we're saying that was a misplay, he still at this point just needs telepathic energy, Kyurem.
Yeah. So this is something interesting here, because like this is where speaking to a seasoned Slowpoke player like Ross Cawthon might be helpful, because there is the play that Kevin could go for of, you know, go super aggressive, knock out 3 Dreepy, but then you have no energy on your board. You lose your energy after Slowking with the Kyurem attack. You know, you keep getting Itchy Pollen. On the other hand, you have the play where you Lilies. You draw 8 cards. Kangaskhan draws you 2 more cards. And it's not like Eli's going to do anything to you next turn, right? So this is maybe the, you know, not the game winner, but it's probably the safer play, and it might be the more responsible play.
So, and I would agree with that. I think that is the thing, that this does give you another turn of setup. Sammy, where's Eli's Crushing Hammers? There are actually no hammers in this deck. So this is the Poltnor list that got top 4 or second at a recent Japan Champions League, and we just missed Kyurem. That's all. That's all, and we were wiping the board. Okay. So, I got too excited. Regardless, this is still really good for Kevin.
Yeah.
Because Eli does play Rare Candy, but the likelihood of pulling off a Rare Candy Phantom Dive here is close to 0.
Yeah, I mean, you would need not even Boss, really, because like Crispin, you would need Crispin, Rare Candy, Dragapult, and then a Dusclops to knock out that bench Slowking that has the energy on it. So, actually, that wouldn't be enough, because you need that's only 110 damage. So,
exactly.
Yeah, Eli is, even with Candy, which would be good because it lets you develop your board, is not in a position to really not even, I wouldn't even say punish, because punish implies that Kevin made a mistake here. I think Kevin's in a strong position, his board is developing, and the fact of the matter is that Dragapult is built like most Dragapult decks, where you can only go so fast.
Right. So 13 degrees, we'll check to see if it got sent whenever one of us is off camera, and then we'll see what we can do. But, dude, thank you for finding that and sending that over. Much appreciated. All right, so looking at Kevin's turn here, Kevin does have, like we said, set up board, is prepared to do some cool stuff next turn. And Eli, like you said, with that rare candy, there is a world where he at least protects a Dreepy, but otherwise this is not looking great for him.
Yeah, that Itchy Pollen is very effective, but one of the nice things for the Slowking deck is that telepathic energy...
Not allowed to do that. No, hold on. Bryce, can you tell him he's not allowed to do that? It has to be a non-rule box Pokemon.
Are you sure? I actually didn't know that.
Yes.
I was told that you can't do that.
It has to be a non-rule box Pokemon. Yes.
We're rethinking it. We're going to Metagross.
And then we're going to Metagross and kill Badoo. So that is what we call certainly not overkill in this scenario.
Yes, he just did 300 damage to that Badoo. I don't know if that was correct, but...
I'm highly confident it was not.
You could certainly get stamped and lose to a Candy Crispin, which is a lot of work, but sometimes Pult just be having it.
I know, and so there's no stamp in hand. There is a Duskmar in hand, and to be honest... I think just going Candy, Duskmar, and Badoo again is probably the next best thing to Eli just kind of rolling him over this turn.
Yeah, I think this is a really strong play, because then you're going to get Badooed. And, you know, this is one of what I was saying about, like, taking it slow sometimes, right? Like, Dragapult is so good at punishing even a small thing. You know, you knock out that Badoo because you just don't want to get item locked again, and then, boom, you can't attack for another turn or two.
And so I would love to see Eli use this Pokepad, continue to set up Dracloaks, because this deck and this list does play 2 Badoo. And it looks like a lot of the lists going into the next format are on double Badoo because of the importance of that item lock. And so now Eli, with either a Night Stretcher or another out to a basic Pokemon, can item lock again after knocking out this Slowking. And so Eli, though, I think sequencing properly, using that Dracloak to try to find a Lilies so that way he can Lilies before using Dusknoir and get the full 8 cards in hand.
Yeah. At the same time, you could have gotten Badoo with that Pokepad, but he still has Ultra Ball. So if he really, really needs to, he has a way to find it. And there's a Poffin, which will find it, and a Duskull as well.
And so I think the Poffin is great here because it will allow the Buddy Poffin, and that Ultra Ball can now be another Dracloak. All right, thinking it through.
Yeah.
Sammy, so this is something I think I'm curious about, is how much or how important are hammers going into this format? Because to be honest, I'm questioning whether or not they're more impactful than just setting up and running people over. And Rafal, what are your thoughts on that? Are hammers going to be essential?
Yeah, it's tough. One of my fears is that we're going to spend so much time the next couple months playing all these fun new archetypes, and then all of top 8 at Worlds is going to be Dragapult because we're trying all these wacky things against each other and not actually Dragapult against Dragapult, which is going to be the actual most important 40% of the meta matchup at the World Championships and at all these upcoming events in this format. So I don't know. It's tough because Hammers is so incredibly strong against the mirror, but Dragapult is continuing to get more and more pressure put on it. Things like Festival Lead, Hammers are not great against Festival Lead.
Right.
Something like playing Dusknoir is good against Festival Lead. Playing Handheld Fan is good against Festival Lead, but hammers are not very useful. Is that the new threat? Is Delmai is going to be the new threat? Those are decks that hammers is not great against.
So, and I think that's going to be one of the questions is, and this is something we see every new format, are the new decks coming in good enough to compete with the current meta, or are they really cool to play some games with, and then going to Worlds you just want to run Pulse? And I will tell y'all, you see this every single Worlds. There is a disproportionate percentage of the field just playing the best deck in format. And I think that's something we're going to see this year too. It would not surprise me if day 2 of Worlds was 60% Dragapult. And that's a bold statement, but I truly think it is.
No, I definitely agree, because when you look at a tournament like NAIC, where we have over 3,000 players, and there's all these like 0.5 to 1% decks that, we're going to see there's so much on the line at Worlds. We're going to see like one person playing it. You know what I mean? We're not going to see, people were trying out the new Greninja deck, the new Beedrill deck. Those were like 2-3% decks at NAIC. I think there was going to be even less of them at Worlds because people want to win. It's not just like your big trip for the summer is going to NAIC. It's I've made it to Worlds. I'm one of a couple hundred players at Worlds. I want to win the World Championship. I'm going to play the best deck.
And so, Chaz, I think I would agree with you on that. Pult Noir probably wants candy in order to have like the pop off, but for straight Pult, something like that, I think Hammers may be a really good inclusion. And so Rafal, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but with that note of just kind of playing the best deck, trying to go for the win, based on what is currently in the field, Pult Blaziken is weirdly looking like one of the better decks.
Yeah, I think it's also one of those interesting things where everyone hypes up the hot new deck.
Yes.
And Pult Blaziken is theoretically the best against the two hot new decks. It's the best against the Delmise because it can tank 2 hits from it. It's the best against the Excadrill because it one-shots it for 3 prizes. But then the question is Delmise actually that good? Is Excadrill that good? That's also a big question. Or are those a little bit overrated and we're going to find out that they're not going to perform well at Worlds? Sometimes you have these new archetypes that everyone thinks are great and they just kind of flop. But sometimes they just do amazing. I think a lot of it is figuring out how to get it built. I know for certain that the Excadrill deck I have built is not a great list, but I think, at the end of the day, we're just trying out and seeing how it works.
And I think it's fine. And Sammy, I actually totally defer to your opinion on this. Sammy's saying that Hammers is essential in Pult Noir due to the mirror. I think that's reasonable. And 13 agrees. I agree. Players going to the best deck in format, there's going to be a deck that has a worse percentage against the field, but a better percentage into the top 1 or 2 decks that can make a run because the field at Worlds is so polarized. Now, would I want to be the one trying to do that? Absolutely not. Just give me the best deck and I'll outplay people. But it is a very real strategy. And so getting back to the game here, Kevin did his attachment. He got a tool down, and that's about it. Rafal, how does Eli punish Kevin here?
So Eli is slowly putting together a board. I think he can... The issue here is that Kevin does have a pretty large hand and a lot to work with here, but the item lock has been incredibly effective. That Lily's led to him having very little to work with. I do think that you really want one of these Dracos to become a Dragapult.
I agree.
You want
at
least one Dragapult on the board.
And no, I agree. I think that is essential because otherwise, Kevin is an attachment, Slowking, Kyurem away from wiping your Pult pieces, and Eli cannot let himself be in a position to have that happen.
Yeah. Pult is a deck that can punish mistakes very easily, and not Kangaskhan, but a Slowking is a deck that can get punished, right?
Yes.
We saw how, it's taken him a couple turns to, put it back together. You got that knockout, you got knocked out by the Dusknoir, and all of a sudden you're just kind of starting from scratch with this Slowking deck, right? You can't use your Wondrous Patch, you can't search for your guys very easily without any items. The deck slows down quite a bit, so it's a deck that can be punished, but you need to set yourself up for success. So Eli, making sure that a Dragapult is evolved, he has energy on 2 different guys. So, hypothetically, Kevin could boss that Dragapult, and then Eli evolves the other one and has an energy for it, right? So Eli is just kind of having, you have your backup, and then you have your backup to your backup, and then you have your third backup, just for any way that Kevin can try to pull himself ahead here for some more. And Eli's trying to set up his board in a way that he can actually punish that effectively.
And so for Eli, just going with the Itchy Pollen, to be honest, on my end, I would have really liked to see him boss up the 70 HP Slowpoke and Itchy Pollen that, just to set up for a 2-prize Pult wipe. But getting that Dragapult down, now Kevin can still cure him. And looking at that hand, Kevin has the Triforce play in hand, which is really good and really scary for Eli because...
Actually, not anymore because he lost the stadium. He lost the stadium and he cannot draw.
No, but he can still use Kangaskhan. Oh, you're right. He needs a stadium bounce to draw with Kang. It's a good point. And that's a big risk now for Kevin. So this is where that Cypher Maniac's code breaking unfortunately goes in a poor direction because this is only effective if you have Kang available to draw. And so Rafal, is Kevin doing the right thing by just stacking the deck here?
I mean, I think so. There's not a ton he can do. I guess the question for me is, does Eli then go on the aggressive? Should Eli, do you think the following turn, if Kevin just has to draw and pass and hope that he's able to draw into that stadium the next turn, does Eli then say, okay, we're turning the heat on, we're going to boss that Slowpoke, we're going to Dusclops the other, and we're going to leave you with one Slowpoke for you when you finally get that stadium out?
And so real quick in the chat, Chaz, I'm glad you agree with me. I'm right like 30% of the time. And yes, Festival Lead, Delmise, Excadrill, and Zorark, I think they're strong contenders. And 13 Degrees, everyone has a chance against Feldhat Pikachu. But for this turn, I think the risk for me is going that aggressive only works if Kevin doesn't have a clean response. And the issue is, with only 3 prizes remaining, Kevin would not have a lot of effort needed to close out the game on his end. So I don't think I would go hyper aggressive here unless I could wipe Slowpoke pieces from the board.
Yeah, I was just thinking, because if you do Dusclops, you put Kevin to 3 prizes, which means you then have to evolve one of your other Dracloak to keep him from winning with a Trifrost.
Exactly. And so you would lose the draw support you have available. You still have the Meowth there to kind of clean up a little bit later. So I think it would be a very high-risk move. Now, granted, with Eli just playing Lilies here, this is pretty bad and gives Kevin plenty of space to close out the game.
Yeah, it doesn't, putting a 4th damage counter onto Kangaskhan doesn't really bring you any closer to anything, right? But then you also don't want to just, hit into it. I mean, you could, right? Because you could... Kevin does have a 5 prize turn available for Eli on the board, right? You knock it, you hit into the Kangaskhan, you hit into the Latias, and then you go Dusknoir, knock out both of them, take 5 prizes. But that is a lot of pieces, and Kevin, he has a lot of cards in his hand, and Eli knows that he's top decking that stadium. So you got to make the most of this turn. And I don't know if just playing Lilies is, kind of making the most advantage out of that.
So, and this is one thing, well, real quick in comments, 13 Degrees, why is it you run 4 stadiums and they always get their 1? It's because the world's built against you. That's the only argument I have. I'm just kidding. But, one thing I do want to say is we could talk about confirmation bias later, because holy do I feel what you're saying there.
Indeed, indeed.
And Ben, all you can yeet, just what a great attack name. And then Eli looks like just going with another Itchy Pollen and Rafal. That is appalling for him.
Yeah, who'd have thought? Kevin gets it. They always top deck exactly what they need. And Kevin now getting an energy. He's going to be able to get another energy onto that Slowking. Yeah, so I believe there is now a Trifrost on the way, which does not win him the game, but it will knock out... you don't even have to knock out the Duskull. You can just knock out Budew, Dracloak. Leave Eli without a free retreater.
And I actually would do that because Eli can't pop the Duskull then, or
yes,
the Dusclops
exactly.
then. And so by doing that, whether or not you gust, and I don't think this deck plays any gust, it means another Trifrost wins you the game.
Yeah, the funny thing about the Slowking deck is that you don't really need to boss anything. You just kind of keep hitting into stuff.
I know. 13 Degrees, I've been playing more Pokemon Champions, and boy, do I want to tell you that everyone flinches way less when I hit them, and I flinch way more when they hit me. They critical hit more than I do. All the above. I feel you, man. But so, Rafal, then, is it as simple as Kevin just using Trifrost on those 3 basics?
His hand is full of items, so I think it kind of is. There's not a ton of other options for him to do. He will lose all the energy. So, there's a world where Eli can stamp him, knock out the Slowking, and just kind of try to put it back together, but it's going to be a lot of work here.
And so we'll see what Kevin does. And I read... Ben saying that Elias wouldn't want to hear about me not flinching people. We are playing a draft league, a couple of us, and I played Elias.
Not the Duskull, Kevin.
Do the
There's no point.
No. It's fine.
All right, it'll be fine.
And I played Elias, and I used a bunch of rock slides and managed to flinch both of his guys on a turn that completely turned the game. And he was upset.
Yes.
And so Eli, similarly upset because he didn't lose the game, but he's not that far off of that being the case.
Yeah, he's going to thin his deck here, and then we're going to Lilies and really hope we can draw into a stamp. Because if we don't draw into a stamp, I mean, Kevin, he doesn't know that Kevin has a secret box, but he knows Kevin has like a 10-card hand. The odds that Kevin cannot put together a winning board is so unlikely. So Eli's just going to Pokepad to thin his deck, probably just attach that Dark Energy, I don't even know, to Meowth at this point. It really doesn't matter. Or he does have a Monkey, so maybe you attach it in case there's some kind of shenanigans where Pult just sits there with damage on it, or you have to do a Mind Bend.
The only thing I would say is with putting that Monkey down, no, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter.
There's one prize left.
Well, not even one prize left. The other thing Eli has to think about is Clefairy math.
Yeah.
And so if Eli had only a single Pokemon on his bench,
I see.
Then Clefairy wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
With the Meowth already down, Clefairy would still reach and knock out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Eli, like you said, he's just going to have to Phantom Dive here and hope that he's able to hit a stamp, because if Kevin keeps his hand, that's just going to be game.
Yeah, and there we go. Oh, and we have the stadium. Oh, brutal.
That's so good for Eli, getting the stamp, putting Kevin down to 2 cards with the stadium blocking Kang draw. And when we were talking to Fall early about how Slowking wins is running Pulse off the board and Pult wins by sustaining, this is exactly what we're seeing. Kevin wasn't able to run Eli off the board, and so Eli has a chance to sustain and follow through.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a couple turns, right? This by no means wins him the game. He'll knock out a Slowking. He'll put some damage on the bench. But then Kevin has to put it back together, and he has at least 2 stadiums in the discard. He has access to Secret Box, which if he can draw into it, that'll find him the stadium. But there's a lot to get here. I think I see a Night Stretcher, and I'm not sure what the other card is. So Kevin does not currently have a way to do anything after this upcoming Phantom Dive.
So, Tim, yes, Slowpoke can KO Buddy for 2 energy, but Kevin doesn't play boss, because a lot of these Slowking decks do not play boss, so he would have to still spread or snipe. 13 degrees, we heard the sigh echo in our headphones. Nito, dude, thank you for joining us. Awesome to have you here, man. And then going into this turn then, Eli does knock out Slowking, gets a prize, and I gotta imagine he spreads this to set up a sweep the following turn.
Yeah, so Slowking, I mean, it ultimately, I'm just thinking about the best way to do damage is here, right? Because Slowking has 120 HP, right? So there's not really a great way to spread it between 2 of them. I think 1-1-2 is correct, so that if one gets, you can boss. If one becomes a Slowking, you can knock out both. There's no way to, if both get evolved into a Slowking, there's no way to spread the damage unless you just put 6 on one, but that feels like a waste of damage counters. Oh my goodness, Kevin has the Meowth, and we see the strength of the Team Rocket's Watchtower.
Yeah, that's real good here. And so this is the risk for Kevin.
And Eli does have boss in hand. He'll be able to just wipe the board next turn.
Well, and Kevin has no way to draw cards, because that Watchtower is essentially Path to the Peak at home.
Yeah.
It turns off Kangaskhan. It would turn off Dun if you played it. It turns off Meowth. There's just nothing Kevin has access to fill his hand.
Yeah, he will
That is
not be able to get a Fez.
Well, so
he does have Stretcher, so he can get double Slowking here. So he does get kind of the dream turn where Eli cannot knock out both Slowking.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, the dream turn, right? the best case scenario with his hand.
And yeah, I think with the boss, this is really problematic. The Slowpoke does have a 1 energy attack that says put a card either, I think it's from your discard pile, into your hand. So Kevin could spend his attack to get a Lilies or something out of his discard pile into his hand. The issue is, as you said, if Eli has a boss, we are absolutely cooked.
Yeah. And Eli, I don't know if I don't think he's even used boss yet at all.
So he is not. And I still think that was incorrect for him to not use it earlier, but he's just getting unpunished for it. 13
Kevin's looking at his discard. He's probably pondering it, but that would be so tough. You'd just really be relying on the hope that Eli doesn't have it. He does have a basic Psychic in the discard.
So I would actually really like Kevin to go into the Slowpoke anyway. Or excuse me, the Slowpoke anyway. Because right now, Kevin is allowing Eli to essentially set up 3 prizes, or to have a 3-prize turn to close out the game if he lets his Slowpoke get knocked out with spread.
Yeah, you know what, Dan, actually, there is a world Because
Or
here's
we
the
could do
thing,
that.
you can win with Clefairy Wondrous Patch. You don't need Slowking to win.
Exactly.
So I think going for the Slowpoke and just getting like a Stadium or like a Lilies might have been more effective, but here we're just passing. I mean, and this is also not a bad play. Eli cannot win here, but it doesn't change the fact that Kevin is fully relying on his top deck.
And being in top deck mode is not something you want, even though Kevin is putting all the mojo in that. Oh, dude, I love me some good chicken nuggets, 13 degrees. I'll check it out. Listen, my child loves chicken nuggets, so if I can find a good way to make them, I will check that out. Thank you.
Do you think that Eli considers bossing that Latias? Just to, if you can't win
No.
this turn, do you think you just break Kevin's setup just a little bit more?
No.
No?
No.
You think just go, you knock out a Slowking?
No.
You just hit the Kang?
Yes. I think if you are not bossing to wipe his board, I actually Eli's taking one for the team here, Moshi. But honestly, you just hit Kang. Like, what value do you get of doing anything else? Because if you hit Kang, your boss next turn of anything wins the game.
Yeah, I see. I see what you mean. Because if you knock out the Latias and put like 6 on a Slowking, you might still need another boss to win the game.
Exactly.
I do see what you mean by that.
And so
for sure.
Eli using the boss earlier to ping the Slowpoke, I think would have been worth it. Here, it is much better to just save the boss's orders to make it easier to close out the game.
Yeah.
And we see the top deck for Kevin.
No way.
It's a
Okay.
Lilies.
All right. So if Kevin's able to get what Clefairy Energy Wondrous Patch, he can win the game anyway, which is just the power of Clefairy. But that's quite the group of cards he needs to find here.
So Clefairy is a way to win the game. Wondrous Patch, Energy, and then some combination of Stadium is good to win the game. But really, Kevin just has a chance to do something. Eli, with boss in hand, does have game, but man, to see Kevin pull this out would be wild.
Yeah, I mean, it really goes to show how, we saw it similarly with James Kowalski's NAIC winning list. If you just put enough Clefairy in your deck, you can put something together, and Kevin might have it.
Oh.
Because what do we get here? We need. Yeah, I think you.
So I agree with this.
draw
Kang first. Energy.
Oh, then we definitely got it.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Kevin has it, assuming that Clefairy is in the deck. Oh.
Whoa.
And that works too.
Oh, the
that
snipe,
works fine too.
Snipe
we got
120
the snipe
damage.
from Zeraora.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that was not the route we thought they'd go, but
No.
we did see Slow King pull out the game there.
Yeah, I was just talking about, like, if you put enough effort into your Clefairy, he's always knocking out Dragapults, and we don't even use the Clefairy, which is funny because we do see some kind of different takes on the Slowking, right? Do you just want the 2 best attacks in the game? Do you want Trifrost and do you want Metagross, whose attack I don't remember? Something
300.
Something
You do
hammer?
300.
Do you want Snipe and Nuke, or do you want other stuff? Do you want that Zeraora that can snipe,
Right.
but it's also a basic that you really don't want to start? Do you want something like what we saw with Ian Robb playing with the Drapion, which paralyzes and it can just permanently lock a Dragapult in the active, right?
Only really good with Monkey Dory, but
Well, yes, there's a specific way you got to build the deck to make that work best. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting attackers that Slowking can play, and the case can be made that you don't just need those 2 best attacks. There's a lot of other attacks that can make the deck very effective.
all right. So Rafal, can you go help swap out and get set up? 'Cause
Yes.
You're going to play the next one.
Yes.
Kick Eli up here, and then I'll
Sounds good.
swap out with you guys. But for those in the comments, 13 degrees. I'll check out. I like Joshua Weissman. Jolly, I actually agree that Nidoking, I will work on the top deck graphic. That is beyond my capabilities. But Jolly, I actually agree. I think having at least 1 Gust in Slowking is so good, and I would recommend cramming that in there. But while Rafal is getting that set up, Bryce, can you throw up the charity thing? Because, y'all, in case you have not heard, we're doing a charity thing Sunday. So you are, okay, sorry, Moshi, but you are all here for the Pokemon. We'd love to have you here for the Pokemon, but what we want you all here for Sunday is to do some good for the world with Pokemon. So we are running a charity tournament on Sunday with all proceeds, every single penny that comes in here is going to the Ronald McDonald House Charities. So to play, all you gotta do is donate at least $25 to the charity link. Show us your name on it. You will get a pack of Pro Tech sleeves, and you'll be able to play for Booster Box, ETB, and a whole bunch of good stuff. And then if you can't come and play, we will be here on stream. We will have a bunch of good giveaways, and we'll do some fun stuff. And yes, Logan, if you can come here, we'd love to see you. If you can't, come join stream. And we are trying to far surpass what we've done the past couple of years in donations. So whoever y'all can share with, whoever you think would want to donate, please send it their way. And Eli, that was a rough ending.
Yeah, I was like, don't top deck lilies, and he top decked lilies. I think I'm supposed to Badoo there.
I think Badoo's fine. Honestly, I don't think it was a bad idea to Phantom Dive anyway.
Yeah, I think if I Badoo there...
Logan, thank you for the support in chat. Much appreciated. And if you know anyone who wants to donate, if you ship it to them to donate, that is more support than we could ask for. Thank you.
I think I'm supposed to Badoo there until he finds an energy.
Oh, that's reasonable, because you can't Wonders Patch and attach that same turn. Yeah, that's very fair.
There were a couple things Roth said, and
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. There are some lines made on either end, and then Unfair Stamp does lie sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it told the truth at first.
It told the truth for a turn, and then there was a top deck.
Yes, and it was a good top deck.
It was a very good top deck.
And Moshi, I'm so excited to see the appalling deck you have on Sunday. I look forward to that. So then, Eli, what are Rafal and Kevin running for us here?
I know Roth is playing Exca. I think Kevin's playing my Mega Ninja.
Fantastic. And so for those who are wondering why Kevin is staying there, we're playing King of the Hill. If you win, you get to stay. And so we'll see with this Mega Greninja versus Excadrill, and Mega Greninja gets to start. And that's not quite what Kevin wants to see.
This is pretty bad. Also, yes, Mushy, I agree.
Never touch Pulse again. That is extremely reasonable. All right, and so for Kevin, this is it's not a good start, but he knows he's not really at risk of a turn one knockout.
That is very true.
And currently donating some drill bursts live on stream. And so Rafal getting that Team Rocket's radar. Is this just a trolley turn?
Petrol for trolley, yeah. Just full board. Let's play the game. Oh, and we're switching another drill bird.
So Rafal was talking about this, and I tend to agree. Trolley probably isn't the best ace spec for this deck.
You don't think so?
No, and so my reasoning is because Dribbler has 70 HP, the only reason Trolley has such a benefit is to get the Genesect V, or Genesect EX, excuse me.
Sure.
And so if you can build it around Buddy Poffins, around something like that, and then have another ace spec that is way better, I mean, that seems pretty nice.
That's fair.
Ben, yes, we do need a trolley. Bryce, can you please go tell Rafal that he needs to play a trolley?
Oh, he just realized.
Okay, yes, we do need a trolley. We do not get to petrol for a full board. All right, so we see trolley, and then we see Genesect EX get the Excadrill and the Metang down.
Yes, and I think Rafal is telling Kevin what the Excadrill does.
And Eli, do you know what the Excadrill does?
A lot of damage for like 1,000,000 energy.
Everything you said is correct, and yet not nearly what I was hoping for. So the Excadrill has, Eli, the Excadrill has 2 attacks.
Yes.
One attack for 2 metal energy does 90 damage, and you discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Second attack, 3 metal, 200 damage. Or if you have 5 metal total, it does 330. That's it's pretty good, dude.
That's pretty good. It's like Jolly Flying Man said, 330 is no Dialga, but it's still pretty good.
That's pretty
still
good.
Knocking out almost everything in format.
Ovi, we are blessed to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
And 13 degrees, they did change Petrol's text a bit. Ben, for the ethics of not playing trolley, homie, I got to talk about actual ethics today. I'm not throwing down with this one. I would just like a more powerful ace spec.
Yeah. I mean, like, we would like to see, like, a Prime Catcher, or, like, I don't know if Prime would be good in this deck, but, like, an Unfair Stamp, or, like, a, what is it, Cape.
Well, so, and yes, one of the commentators, or comments, I already saw with bias, but mention Cape. Dude, I think Cape would be great.
Yeah, Cape would be
Just Secret Box.
Secret Box could be good too.
Yes.
Is there a good stadium that Excadrill could use?
So, one of the things we were talking in another chat about this, some of the Excadrill lists are playing a Team Rocket's hideout to draw 2 more cards, or factory, whatever it is.
Factory, because you play Quad Petrol.
Exactly. The other one I was thinking of is Battle Cage. Because if you are worried about Monkey Dories, if you're worried about Dragapult, stuff like that, Battle Cage can prevent that and be pretty effective.
Yeah.
Eli, if Brian didn't tell me and I didn't have to show up and I had to explain what Exy did, I would have answered the same day and would yell at me. That's fair. Rockets Factory, thank you, Ben.
Yes.
Amulet of Hope, listen, that is cool and absolutely not the move.
I don't know what Amulet of Hope does.
So Amulet of Hope, I got you. Amulet of Hope is an A-Spec tool card. If this Pokemon's attached to is knocked out, search your deck for 3 cards.
Oh, it's that one. Okay.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Listen, pretty good. That doesn't mean we should play it, but
correct.
it is pretty good.
Kevin finally found a buddy Poffin.
All right, and good. So I guess we should talk about the game. But yeah, so Kevin now, it's turn 2, but Kevin's actually setting up pretty well here.
Yeah, he finally got to play a supporter and setting up the board. I didn't see the rest of Kevin's hand.
So if it includes
Aurora.
Candy, Greninja, we're great. If it does not, we're less than great.
Well, so we get the Badoo, and I'm pretty sure one of these Zoroas came. No, it didn't.
Nope, all these are new except for the
Yes.
active Froakie. And no, Moshi, it's not bad you didn't know Amulet existed because no one played it. Oh, so we do Pokepad for the Frogadier.
I think it's just so that next turn we can evolve.
Oh, just retreating to Buddy?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
okay.
just like Itchy Paw and hope Roth can't. Well, Roth is gonna have full board. He has the Genesect and he searched last turn, so I don't really know.
I think the Itchy Pollen is more to prevent a scary Gust play.
Sure.
Or something like that.
Sure, try to do as little as possible, or have Roth do as little as possible with what he has on board. Right?
Exactly. For Verified, we've only had one game so far, and it was an interesting one. It was definitely back and forth, which is fun.
Yeah, I was just sitting there and saying Itchy Pollen a lot, which was kind of fun. Kevin was sitting there and saying pass because he couldn't attach energies.
Which is a problem. To be
Yeah.
fair, Kevin did miss an opportunity to Wondrous Patch early, which could have been
did.
helpful,
He
but,
did.
you know, that's okay. It's okay. But going to this game, this has actually been a beautiful setup for Excadrill.
Yeah, I mean, Rafal finding the Petrol turn 1, going trolley full board is always what you want to see, because then you get the turn 1 Genesect to search for 2 of your evolutions, which is the Excadrill and 1 of your Matangs, and then you get this turn to then search for 2 more Matangs, and your board is fully set up.
Which is incredibly strong. And so, Eli, there's this new tool in the set that says if you're attached to a cardless Pokemon, once during your turn when you attack, you can reflip as many coins as you want. Do you think that card would see any play?
No.
Okay, so why not?
Because it's just like, you're not, it's only good for Kang, and
Sorry, Rafal is seeing 3 metal energy
This
here,
is
which is
stupid.
pretty good.
because it's only good for like Kang.
So it's good for Kang. The other one it's good for is the little Whimsa thing, Audino EX. Make Audino EX.
Oh sure, maybe in Audino decks it could be good.
And that's exactly my thought. I think there could be a very niche scenario where it pays off, but I don't know a deck where that acceleration from Audino is important enough to also play a tool card like that.
Correct, and then it's also like having to find it when you are using the Audino attack.
Ooh, and going for the boss's orders, discarding 2. Those are a good 2 cards to discard.
The discard is pretty disgusting.
Holy.
Because that's the one way in the deck to search out the Neo Upper. And now it's gone and never to come back again.
And so, Ben, I agree. Finding the tool is very, very tough if you don't have a way to actually search for it.
Yeah.
Tim, Larry's Dun could be good. I don't know if the attack itself is good enough to justify kind of building around. All right, so Eli, we get to this turn. Kevin is drawing with Zoroark. How does Kevin respond to this?
I mean, he needs some way to draw into that Neo upper. There's like very little response. The good thing though is if we do push up a Mega Ninja, this Mega Excadrill can't one-shot it.
So that is a huge deal in this case because being able to hit 330, that is 20 damage short of taking out this Mega Greninja, which I would say, Eli, that is one argument I would have had for Rafal actually gusting the Frogadier.
And hitting it for 90?
Yes. Because with the Frogadier in the active, you still discard the 2 cards. You apply pressure and force Kevin to find Rare Candy Greninja and then all the pieces after that.
Yep.
Kieran in the list? I don't actually know. Do you know if Kieran's in the Excadrill list?
I have no clue.
I mean, I think it's a good inclusion, Ben. If anything, just to give some mobility. But then Eli, we see Dawn, we get a Froakie, Zoroark, and then...
We like have to grab Fez.
I would agree. I think we have to get Fez.
Which like isn't great, but we need the draw to hopefully be able to find that Neo upper, find the water energy to snipe, and do all the good things that Mega Greninja can do.
And that, I think, is the issue for Kevin. Mega Greninja has a shot to be pretty scary right now. Regular Greninja EX gets nuked immediately.
Yeah, there are 2 Mega Greninjas in the hand, so that is why the regular Greninja got grabbed.
That makes a lot of sense in retrospect.
Yep.
All right, so then what is Kevin's response if he doesn't find the Neo Uppy?
I think we just have to Itchy Pollen and hope Rafal can't find a boss, which isn't great.
It's not unreasonable based on Rafal having 0 onboard draw.
That is very fair. I think Rafal only has like 2 or 3 cards in hand.
Okay, so we see another Froakie, which is not bad. I assume Fez is going to get benched here.
Yeah, because we already have 2 Zoroarks down that this Excadrill can one-shot.
Right. At this point, Rafal's prize map is mapped. Like, we're good there.
Yeah.
All right, Buddy Poffin, Lilies, and that is not a Rare Candy or any energy.
It is not. A Rare Candy wouldn't do anything this turn.
Oh, true. That's true. We already
But
have
we
Frogadier.
should be evolving into a Mega Ninja this turn. How did we...
So, actually, let me ask you on that, Eli. Is there any world that makes sense to not evolve it?
I don't think so, because we have the Wallies in hand. Like, if we do get boss, we have
That's
Wallies
true.
to, like, heal. And I'd be more concerned with getting this Frogadier knocked out. Like, on the off chance that Rafal just has, like, double boss in his hand, right?
No, I think it's a very good point. And so, Rafal playing the Petrol here to go get that Jumbo Ice Cream Cone. And this is a really big piece of this deck because 340 is hard to get through.
Yeah, it is indeed, and Gravity Mountain is in the deck.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a problem for Kevin because now that Mega Greninja is well within range of that Excadrill.
It indeed is, and that's scary. That's a scary card.
That is horrifying.
Very, very scary card.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so why is that card in this deck? It can't just be for Mega Greninja, right?
I'm guessing it's also for so that your Metagross can one-shot things, right?
That makes a ton of sense. So Metagross does 300 damage if you discard 3 energy, and so that will allow it to reach on basically any Stage 2 EX.
Is in Ruff's hand, right? The Gravity Mountain is supposed to be in his hand.
It should be in his hand. All right, so Rafal does find some more metal energy.
This is...
Yes. Okay,
yes,
that's very
okay.
important. Good.
The amount of energy on Rafal's board is pretty dumb.
Well, so this is one reason why these Metang decks are so cool. You thin the energy while continuing to dig into the deck. You don't just look at the top 6 over and over. You're pulling yourself through the deck, and this is terrifying.
Yes, like there being 10 energy on Rafal's board between 2 attackers that are honestly like pretty. Even the Metagross is pretty beefy for a one prizer.
Well, 180 HP is really good.
Yeah, and That is pretty bad for Kevin.
That is hurtful that a water energy was the next card off the top. It's always the next card.
It's always the next card.
It's always the next card.
Water energy and a Frogadier.
That is bad.
Yeah.
So now, for Kevin, Rafal's at 4 prizes. There are no ways for Kevin to disrupt Rafal's hand except for Judge and Unfair Stamp.
Special red card next turn.
Next turn, but not this turn.
Correct.
And so with Rafal having the Gravity Mountain in hand, can Kevin afford to go into a Mega Greninja here?
I think if we are able to put enough damage on this Mega Excadrill this turn to then be able to kill it the following turn along with like being able to KO the Metagross, sure. I don't know how we would be able to do that. But we did find the Neo Upper.
Which is good. So now there are 2 Mega Greninja in play here, and this is a big deal because it does allow Kevin to have some response when this Mega Greninja goes down to Excadrill this turn.
How much HP does Excadrill have? 340?
340.
Okay, so like we could take a knockout this turn if we go Surfing Beach, attach Neo Upper to the bench, and then Lilies into double water energy.
That is a true statement. Ooh, that would be a huge deal.
Yes, and we should be seeing these air balloons come down on these Zoroarks. But Kevin might not know that.
So I wouldn't mind the air balloon coming down on one Greninja just to allow the rotation.
There are 3. Are there 2 or 3? There's 2 Surfing Beach, 2 air balloon, and the AZ's Tranquility for maneuvering.
Yes.
So,
and I would rather not have to draw them. I would rather just have the air balloon on my Mega Greninja, which I think is what Kevin's hoping for.
So the one thing with attaching it to your Greninja is that if Rafal needs extra time and has like Gust, you can't get out of your Zoroark.
So that's a fair point.
Which is something I've noticed with the deck, is that you like always want your air balloons attached to your Zoroarks.
That is very, very reasonable. And so now Kevin has Lilies in hand, and I mean, I gotta imagine he just plays the Lilies, right?
I would agree. I don't know what else we would be doing if for some reason he wants to use the second trade first, which I wouldn't.
I would also not want to see.
Not want to see that.
I don't think there's anything Kevin wants to see other than 2 water energy.
I agree. Maybe he like wants to keep this red card in his hand, but I don't like. This should just be play Lilies, I feel.
I would also assume so. So now that's pretty good because that does allow use of 1 water energy.
Yes.
And I gotta imagine that goes straight onto the Excadrill.
I would agree. Yep.
Okay, so Kevin sees the line. And now I assume Kevin will play that Lilies.
What? Is he Ultra Balling? The Lilies and the Wallies?
Maybe? I think Kevin's just debating here. So one thing to note when either of us get out there, we probably need to increase pace of play here.
I would agree.
All right. So we do see the Ultra Ball maybe come down for Kevin.
Okay, good. We see the air balloon come down on the second Zoroark.
Ultra Ball, Wallies, and Lilies.
Okay, we're just.
I don't know if I love that, but.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to maximize his odds at finding the second water. Which is like fine.
And I don't mind that. I think that is good thinning.
I just don't like getting rid of Wallies when like we don't know how many Grav Mountains Rafal plays, and if we can on this next turn bump the Gravity Mountain along with promote a fresh Greninja, that would be pretty good.
And so that's the one concern I have too. The other thing is maybe it would have been better just to get rid of that red card, because I don't know how much is that disruption is going to be needed late. Cheese and Rice, we are not having a clock on this. The clock's just going to be us telling Kevin to hurry the heck up at times because, see the water.
Okay. Okay, we get 8, and there's 3 waters.
Oh, we're so cruising.
Yeah.
So we are just doing this as testing for Sunday because we've got a charity tournament with a whole lot of good prizing in this format. And the rest of the store is doing a pre-release, and y'all don't need to watch a pre-release.
Yeah, I don't think we want to see
No.
people go 1 Pokemon 39 energy against each other.
But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. If y'all would rather see a pre-release, then just let us know. We can do that, I guess. But all right, so Kevin does play the Great Hall Net, which, holy, is this a strong
It's
card?
a very strong card. You get 3 in combination, 3 water Pokemon and 3 water energy, up to 3 of each that you can shuffle back into your deck.
And so Rafal was saying people are calling it the Super Duper Rod. I personally like calling it the Extraordinary Rod because it is incredible.
It is.
And Cheese and Rice, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Please always come hang out. We're here every Thursday and Sunday now. So then,
Almost every Sunday.
oh well, we're here this Sunday.
This Sunday, yes.
But so Eli, we get these into the deck. I don't think we have a way to search any of these
We have a
out.
Buddy Poffin to get the Froakie, so that next turn we can go Rare Candy, Greninja, and have 2 Snipes again, which would be pretty good.
Wait, that's incredibly good.
Yeah.
All right, so then Kevin will shove these into the deck.
Yep.
We'll play that Buddy Poffin, get the Froakie out. And I mean, Kevin set up for a pretty good response here.
Yeah. If he was able to have 3 Greninjas for this next turn, it'd be very, very insane. But obviously, we know Rafal has the Gravity Mountain to be able to one-hit a Mega Greninja if he's able to reestablish an Excadrill.
Agreed. And so now we will see on Kevin's end that Greninja attack for 200 damage, knocking out Mega Excadrill, taking 3 prizes.
3 big prize cards.
And he is a single knockout away from winning the game.
He is indeed.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, these big Mega decks just going back at each other is insane. And another thing Kevin can do in this matchup is, like, if Rafal gets super low on energy, we can just Totodile trap this Genesect for forever.
So that actually is something I was going to mention. Rafal's pretty low on energy. Not anymore. Rafal's no longer low on energy.
However, if Rafal loads 5 energy on this Drillbur, there's a chance that we could see a boss Genesect Totodile trap this Genesect for forever.
So I would actually like to see trap the Metang. Because if Rafal does decide to load up enough energy to hit with Metagross, all you do is gust the other Metang. And now all the energy is committed. Because Genesect has a very reasonable attack for 3 energy.
So the problem with that is that, I guess... Because what, is Metagross 4 energy?
4 energy.
Okay, then yeah, it's probably the Metang. How much damage does Metang's attack do? 50?
70, I want. 60. It does 60.
Okay.
All right, so we see our first Metal Maker, and who, buddy? That was a pretty good one.
That is two metal energy.
And so Rafal only needs 2 more Metal Energy to knock out this Greninja.
That is very true.
Okay. Okay.
We didn't get there. We didn't get any from that one.
All of a
That is
sudden.
a pretty big whiff on Rafal's part.
That is immense.
So Rafal will be able to take a knockout on this Froakie if he wants to, but then Kevin can respond and stamp him finally and get that Gravity Mountain out of Rafal's hand if Rafal does take a knockout.
And to be clear, when you say stamp, you mean red card,
Yes,
right?
red card,
Yes.
sorry.
No. I only thought of that because I saw the Neo-Uppie in his hand.
Yep.
But so I agree, and this maybe was an argument for Kevin to not bench that Froakie, but I think it was a better assumption that Rafal's going to take the knockout than Rafal's going to miss and boss the Froakie.
I agree, and I also think that we're fine if Rafal goes boss KO Froakie, as long as he doesn't mill double red card here.
That would be problematic.
Yes.
And then we see
Okay.
that could be bad.
Could be pretty bad.
So does Rafal or does Kevin play 1 or 2 red cards?
2 red cards.
Okie dokie.
There
So
are 2 red cards in the deck.
Kevin is very much hoping one of those red cards is still accessible for him.
Yes.
Now, we were really excited last turn because Kevin could double Greninja and knock out this Excadrill. That is not the case this turn.
Correct, because for some reason this Stage 1 has 340 HP.
Lucario is another Stage 1 Mega 340, but that thing is much less threatening than this Excadrill.
I agree. With Metangs in this deck, Excadrill is so threatening and so quick.
Buckwink, I think 2 red card is so good. Having an out 2 additional disruption is a huge deal.
Yes. How many cards are it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Bryce,
7?
could you nicely encourage them to increase pace of play? Thank you. Just we want to put on a good show.
Yes.
Feel free to have them yell at me about it.
Hurry up.
That's not quite what I was intending, but that works.
And the other red card is prized.
So this mill is paying off immensely for Rafal here. All right, so then Kevin does have Total Dial in hand, does have access to a couple water energy. So, Eli, it looks like that trap play is coming to fruition.
That's like the only line we have.
Yes. Kevin's deck, is this your deck?
Yes.
It is beautiful, Eli. Well
Thank
put
you.
together.
Thank you.
Okay, so we do see the 60 damage snipe. The Total Dial's on the board. There's a water energy in hand. And then I think, does Kevin not have a boss?
He hasn't. This is interesting because we just lose to boss 2 energy now.
Well, no, actually, I like this a lot. Because this will do, is it 10 or 20? 10, dang
It does 10, so we're still short.
And Ovi, yes, World Set is pitch black. So this is World's format.
Yes. That is also a reason I didn't like this play, because of the ice pops.
That's extremely reasonable. That is a big deal. And then deck building Pokemon is so weird. Yes, Fizzle, that ice cream is a huge, huge deal for Rafal here.
And I'm guessing here we're just gonna Petrol for like Ultra Ball. Interesting.
I think Ultra Ball's fine. I think he's just looking for... Actually, why not just Petrol for boss?
That's what I was gonna say. Because if we just Petrol for boss, we just have game on board.
Right. So...
known game in our hand.
We have game next turn available.
Yep.
But I mean, this is still fine. Knocking it out, Mill 2. I think honestly, deck out is a very real win condition for a fall at this point in the game.
Yeah, I think Excadrill is just like slightly too big and too fast for Kevin here, especially with us prizing our second red card.
And I think that's a big deal. Hand disruption is so limited in the game right now that those 1 or 2 red cards or 1 stamp you get each game, they are essential to get full value out of.
I agree.
All right, so then Eli, is there any way Kevin can set himself up for success here?
All of our ways to get Pokemon back are gone. We only have 2 cards left in deck, so it's not like we can stall for time.
Well, and that's exactly the issue. Any win condition Kevin has now is basically slowing the game down, and Kevin doesn't have a lot of time to slow the game down.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we needed to do this last turn.
So that being said, Kevin can win next turn with this play. So all
Yes.
Kevin needs to do is put 60 on a Metang.
Yep.
Not the Metagross, on a Metang. Excellent. And then hit this Genesect for 200, and we're 1 water energy away.
Yep. And I think the last 2 cards in Kevin's deck are Water Energy and the AZ's Tranquility.
Do not pass.
Do not
Do
pass.
not pass.
No.
No.
Kevin!
Don't do that. Bad Kevin. Give me 1 second. Bad Kevin. Don't pass. All right.
I don't think he heard you.
I don't think so either. So we do see the 1 energy. Yes, you do not put those back on top.
Put that to the bottom of your deck.
We just need an energy. Ooh, we whiff the energy.
Kevin, like, might be saved.
Oh, my goodness. And then I think we're falling just thinning cards out.
Yes.
So that way he can Pokegear for more. All right, we get the Skarmory, which, to be honest, is a really cool attack, if you know what that one does. If not, I can explain.
It's the snipe one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Snipe 220, which is really good.
It is. It's pretty good. Just being able to do damage anywhere you want is very, very nice. And of course, the first two cards off of this Pokegear are double metal energy.
And so Rafal gets Judge. I already had one of those in hand. And really, the choice is, do you Judge to try to find an air balloon and drop the Gravity Mountain, or do you pass? And
Rafal is changing his decision.
I'm going to take the boss's orders here. What do you think about that?
Bossing either this Fez or Meowth is pretty annoying for Kevin.
So it's a huge deal because that stadium no longer works. Both air balloons are down. And if Kevin chooses to attach and retreat, he's not going to be able to attack.
Correct. I also think Kevin should have attacked and kept the energy on the active, but you know.
I would tend to agree because it does not matter. If that thing got knocked out, it got knocked out.
Correct. Because now we have to burn our last water energy in deck to retreat this Meowth, and then we can't attack for turn because we don't have the Neo Upper on board.
Exactly. Like, this is just game, and I think Kevin's just going to trade to see what's up. None of these cards are very helpful. And it's still not enough. It is unfortunately still not enough. Now, if Kevin had attacked...
Kevin had attacked last turn, he would have had it.
Yes. So now the question is, take the prize, Kevin, because if the prize is a water energy, you still win. It was not.
It's not.
It's not. All right. Well, so there we go. Rafal is able to take the game, and we see Excadrill get its first win. So then, Eli, I'm going to go kick Kevin out, and then you and Rafal can talk about what a mess that game was.
Me and Kevin can talk.
You and Kevin can talk, because that was a mess. So
It was.
It was a mess.
Yeah. Interesting game. I don't know. Kevin had a couple things he could have done, and he wins that if he attaches the Neo Upper the turn earlier, because he has the Tranquility in deck. Let me move over. But yeah.
I had a chance.
You win that game if you attach Neo Upper and attack into the Genesect.
At the end?
Yes.
It's 200.
The turn before.
No, yeah, that's why.
Yeah. If you didn't pass. Yeah.
I was thinking too hard, and then because if he kills, because all he just does is like Gravity Mountain.
Yeah.
And kill it.
Yeah.
And he whiffed anyway, so.
Correct. Because his deck relies on there being metal energy in the top 4 cards of his deck.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna lose anyway, so.
Yeah, no, you win that game if you attach Neo Upper and swing the turn before.
The AZ is actually really good though. I was like, oh my god, wait.
Yeah.
It's the last card. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know this can work.
The fact that Surfing Beach red card were 2 of your 3 last prizes, I was like, this is not good.
No, but yeah, no, it was like I kind of saw like things coming together, but I was like, it took me a while to like kind of realize like what, like I wasn't sure if like what was in the list.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like throwing me off a little bit. Like I didn't know if there was like another Night Stretcher in the list. So that's what I realized too, and I was like, oh, okay, I can't like just get rid of everything.
Yeah. It's very much you need to maintain all of your water energies in your deck and hand.
Yeah. I just needed to believe. That's what I realized.
Very, very true.
And we almost did believe. There was a chance.
You had a you win that game like 99 out of 100
Oh, I also didn't realize there was a jumbo ice cream.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I can be fine if I just like hit this thing once, and then I'm like, oh wait, never mind. If I just my other thing, like if I just actually kept it on the Matang, I would have been able to just do it again.
Correct. I think.
But
there's like multiple jumbo ice creams. I think he has 2 or 3 in that deck right now. So
But yeah, no. So this is hide and sneak. This is the new Dragapult Dominator, but I don't know what most of the cards do, except that I know that like
the Delmise with a Clefairy one-shots a Dragapult.
Yeah, and they don't take any damage from the Dragapult, right?
Correct. They don't.
Well, the active does, but
the active
bench.
does, but the bench are protected.
The hide and sneak
from
protects.
the hide. Yeah.
The Ghost Veil.
The Ghost Veil.
That's not the right Dunsparce. That one's rotated.
Is definitely rotated.
But it's fine.
It's fine.
It serves the same purpose. We just can't use. We just can't. We got to make sure Dan doesn't try to find a friend.
Exactly. And Rafal starting with double Buddy Puffin is like just all you could ever want turn one from a Dragapult Blaziken deck.
Yeah, and it looks like Dan's got the. He has I can't tell, one hide and sneak Pokemon already in the discard.
There is one, yes.
Okay. Doing a little prize checking. Maybe I should have done that,
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
You need one more card. There we go. One more card. And it doesn't look that good. Actually, I can't tell. What is the Shuppet? The Shuppet doesn't really do anything. It's just you evolve into the Banette.
Yeah, you have to evolve into the Banette. I'm pretty sure we just use it to discard.
Okay. And then what does the Gwyn do?
Discard 2 Pokemon and draw 2 for each Pokemon discard.
Oh, okay. So you can draw like up to like.
Is it 3? So discard 2 Pokemon and you draw 3 for each Pokemon discarded or something like that. Yeah. Without a rule box. That is an important part.
Okay. Yeah, they both did the gentleman's prize check.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess like either way, Dan's just like setting up his board and trying to see. I'm pretty sure he knows what the cards do in Japanese, right?
Yeah. The Sinistra does 4 damage. Is it 4 damage counters to each thing, or 2? It's 4 damage counters to every Pokemon on your opponent's side of the board, right?
Yeah.
As long as you have 6 Ghost Veil Pokemon in discard.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. Looks like Raf's just got a really good setup for his turn 2.
Yeah, I mean, double Dracloak. All we want now is like an energy to attach to one of these Dracloaks.
I did not win the Greninja versus Excadrill.
Yes, the Excadrill did win. However, Greninja probably should have won.
I probably should have won. But Raf also probably should have won because he whiffed like 2 Metal Makers when he still had like 10 energies in the deck. Or like 8 energies.
He had like 4 energy in deck, I think.
Because he said there's 16, right? That's what he told me. He says 16, and I know there was like 5 in the discard for sure.
Yeah.
4 more attached, or 5 attached, 1 to like a Metang, and then
there were like
4 to the Metagross.
Yeah, there were like 5 energy in deck.
Okay, yeah. So
like,
yeah, it still felt like he had a pretty good chance of getting him. Usually, whenever I get like Metanged, I feel like they usually hit, especially if they play like a high energy count. But,
yeah. And here we see Rafal get the Itchy Pollen off.
Digipollen does not seem very good when there is a Gwyn being played for 4. Oh, we're drawing
6 cards.
We're drawing lots of cards. And
this
it's
I mean, we
all right.
found the Prism Tower, so we can discard more Pokemon if we want to.
Yeah. No energy.
Yeah, that's the big part, is that we don't have energy. We haven't found a Dunsparce yet.
He cannot. I thought he was about to play Ultra Ball for a second.
Nope.
There it is.
The Dunsparce.
Wow. When they always have it.
Always have it.
Now he's got to find the energy card.
Yes. Oh, he has it attached to the Delmise. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even see that yet.
I didn't see it either. Yeah, so now,
Yep. Takes prize. Is that Pokepad?
It's a Delmise.
Oh, Delmise.
Yeah.
I cannot see. Okay, there we go.
So
we got 6 in the discard.
It's 5, right?
5 or 6, something like that.
5, 6.
6, 7. Yeah, and does he have another Gwyn in hand? No,
He discarded it off of the Prism Tower.
Okay.
So I think Dan just plans to like Judge and Lily's the rest of the game.
Yeah, so I think Raf really just needs to find Unfair Stamp here.
I mean, if we could find Unfair Stamp, that'd be
That would
like
be ideal.
unfair stamp boss KO to Dunsparce would be pretty decent.
Because it looks like he's trying to find a Blaziken attack here too. So, but then he can just like, because Dan's just gonna recycle a ton of Dunsparces next turn if
he's able to.
Yeah, he's gonna. It looks like he's probably gonna be able to. There's the first Cloak.
Is that Secret Box?
Oh, it's Secret Box.
Red
Red card. No, red card doesn't
card doesn't do anything right now.
Okay, so Stamp is not in the deck, but there is a red card.
It is Secret Boxes as the ace spec.
Is there any like, is there any tools? Or any like,
I don't think so.
What were the stadiums? Just like Watchtower?
Probably Watchtower.
Interesting, very interesting.
Or no, it's probably honestly.
Or Risky Ruins because of the Monkey Dory. Maybe.
But the thing with this deck is like you can't reset Pokemon like in the other Dragon Ball deck with the Dunsparce where you can constantly recycle the 20 damage to move over.
Yeah. So I think like his idea is like he was telling me it's just Blaziken, just go in. It's good. It's really hard for them to take a knockout on Blaziken, especially after turn.
Yeah.
There's no way to heal the Blaziken except for Monkey Dory, which is like fine, I feel like, right? Just because you're taking 17 plus 17, heal Monkey Dory, so they need to attack another time.
Yeah, they need 3 attacks.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Do they play the Spiritomb?
I think there is, but I'm not sure about in this build, in this one. Because I know we were talking about it earlier today with everyone just chilling playing, if we should play Spiritomb or not. And there's like, it's like up in the air. Like a lot of people are like going back and forth. There probably will be, eventually at some point in time where people start playing a Blaziken. I mean, not Blaziken, Spiritomb.
Spiritomb, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Roth kind of wants to set up another Blaziken somehow, right? There's got to be a way for him to do that.
I mean, it'd be nice because then Dan can't like one shot with a Delmise Clefairy, right?
Yeah, and that is a lot of good cards being sent to the discard from
Meowth, Boss,
and an Ultra Ball.
Yeah.
And Dan is beside himself.
Oh, he's saying that Judge is a lie. Well,
Judge is a lie, but
Judge is a lie when your opponent has double Dracloak on board.
Yeah, so I mean, he didn't have to. He just drew into all of it. So
yeah.
So hide and sneak, has it been tested well tonight so far? This is the first game we're seeing it on stream.
Yeah, and I mean like Dan's board looks pretty good. He has 2 Dunsparces down for whenever he gets disrupted.
The problem is Roth just got the Watchtower, and Dan does not have a Stadium Bump.
That is very true.
That does not look very good at all.
However, we
have the Monkey Dory attachment. We're getting a Dragapult set up. Does the hide and sneak so it's just the hide and sneak Pokemon that can't be affected, right?
The ones with the ability.
Okay, yeah. So he can still get the Dunsparces.
Yeah.
And these Dunsparces are not moving anytime soon. Dan can't even. He's not going to be able to Ultra Ball for a Meowth either, so he's going to have to get a Fez and kind of just pray.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's a Fez in the deck, to be honest.
I could not tell you.
But how's it going, Brian? Welcome.
Welcome
back. I guess you were here a little bit, but
yeah. So Rafal can take 2 prizes this turn if he wants with that Monkey Dory, by KOing this active Delmise and the Dunsparce on the bench. But it might just be better to Monkey Dory over the damage to the Sinus T, whatever the baby one is.
Sinus T. I don't know. The little cup.
That's the baby Poltergeist. Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That one.
The little cup guy.
Yeah. So that we can clear off.
Damage going to the Dunsparce.
Damage is going to the Dunsparce.
They can only go to the Dunsparces because.
Oh, does it also block Monkey Dory?
Yes, it blocks all damage, including like Dusknoir and anything that does damage. Okay, we're doing a retreat.
Let me read this card.
The hide and sneak.
attacks and abilities is crazy.
Broken. All right, so there's the Dragapult.
I didn't realize it was from abilities also. That's dumb. They just gave the deck everything to so you can't
No monkey,
no monkey,
Polt.
no Polt. So basically it does Pet Rat and Psyduck in the same card.
But so it's just damage counter. So damage, you can still like, Wellspring it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that would even be more broken.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
It would be pretty nuts.
Okay, so we got the Ultra Ball, but there's like, wait, was the top deck a stadium? I think the next card.
Was it actually?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Actually, no.
If so, that would be pretty disgusting. And we don't have Fez in deck, so
Yeah. I don't know if it does it play Fez. It plays 2 Clefairy, so maybe that's like if he's playing 2 prizes, might as well, right?
maybe. But Dan's hand is pretty bad. It's a Delmise and a Clefairy. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't play Fez.
No Fez,
So
no draw.
We're just relying on top decks from Dan here of a stadium or a supporter of some sort.
Okay, so the Dragapult deck killer is getting absolutely wrecked by Dragapult. So
Yeah, this Watchtower.
Watchtower stonks are up.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see Dan like go through his deck with
Wait,
these
did he
Dunsparces earlier.
Oh, it doesn't have the ability. Okay, the Delmise
Yeah, the
doesn't have.
Delmise doesn't have the ability.
Okay.
It's just the Sinistra and the Banette line that have the abilities, I believe.
Understandable. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Maybe no, it's just those. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what does the Spiritomb do again?
Bryce.
Do you know what the Spiritomb does?
It quadruples 2 Pokemon's damage counters. If you have 13.
If you have 13,
13 hide and sneak Pokemon.
If you have 13 hide and sneak Pokemon in your discard pile, choose 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, quadruple the number of damage counters on them.
it's pretty
Okay.
good.
All right. Oh, yep. Oh. Does that do anything?
It gets the knockout on the Dragapult because we have Clefairy in hand.
That is very true. He needed that. But then, what is like the follow-up? There's no Delmise.
No, we have Delmise Clefairy in hand. I'm pretty
Oh yeah,
sure.
yeah. I thought yeah, Delma. Okay, so, and then he's gonna get some prizes.
Yeah, so we're gonna be able to go down to 3 prizes for Dan here, and hope that Rafal doesn't
And
have
that's
a
good.
strong counter.
Well, that was a good draw.
Yeah, that was.
Oh wait, but
Oh, okay. Well,
there we go.
we have boss. So, Rafal winning with Pult Blaziken against this hide and sneak deck that is supposed to have a pretty good Dragapult matchup.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just the Watchtower, because like
Yeah, that Watchtower
If-
turn is pretty big.
if the Watchtower didn't come down, like he would have just been able to draw so many cards and probably just like find the Prism Tower,
Yeah.
find the bump, and then take a knockout.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see Dan start just like cycling through Dunsparces a little, like a turn before he got Watchtowered, just so we could see more cards and make our board and hand just better.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe there's got to be a way to like get like bump the Watchtower.
Yeah, I'm going to go switch out with Dan.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
All right. So, here we are. I honestly don't know, like, the hide and sneak, like, if it's even, like, if it's optimized all the way to where it needs to be, just based off of that. Wait, what were you saying? Oh, welcome back. I thought you won.
Yes, but Dan wants to play some cards, so I guess I'll have to.
What a
allow
nice
it.
guy.
I know, so generous.
Yeah, apparently I should have just attacked with. I don't know why I didn't attack with the Greninja that one turn into the Genesect or into something.
I don't know. Well, there's a lot to learn I think for both of us, we both made some weird choices there.
Yeah.
I was telling Dan, I was like finding energy, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this energy. I don't want like a Beldum with 4 energy on it, but like, what do I do, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan said he's going to try X Control as well. Not sure what Eli's going to play yet. We do probably want to get a festival lead game in at some point, if not this game, then the next one.
And that plays the Gladion, right?
Yes, it's allegedly the super broken deck now, but you know, we'll
80 extra damage, right? But you have to have no cards in your hand, right?
Yeah, you have to play when you have no cards in hand. It might be 70 more damage. It's either 70
I
or
think
80.
it's 80.
Maybe 80. Okay, yeah. It's enough that Festival Lead can just absolutely annihilate anything it hits, which is pretty good. And you just play your secret box. You just discard your whole hand. Your monkey gets your secret box. Secret box discards your hand. You play Gladion, and then you just one-shot a Pult. And that's something you can't do very easily now. So that's pretty scary.
Yeah, and we were talking about how wow. The hide and sneak deck did not, counter Dragapult as well as we thought it would do. So
yeah, well, I was telling Dan, so I was playing Jackson Ford's list from NAIC, which had the secret box, and he was not anticipating me to secret box into going kind of crazy. That secret box was pretty good.
Oh, it's not Festival Lead. It's Hydrapple.
Yeah, big apples.
Big apple.
You're a big apple enjoyer, aren't you?
I like the apples. Apples were fun, but now it's everyone's on the apples now, so it's not as cool.
Oh, are you one of those players?
Yeah.
Once your favorite deck is popular, you're like, I don't like it anymore.
It wasn't even my favorite. It was just right when it first came out, because I got all the cool Diplins.
Gotcha.
But
so we're seeing Eli with an all right setup. Dan is going second. He has the Pokegear. What other than the petrol, what do you think his plan is here?
I think you just find if he whiffs the petrol or what, because I feel like that's I don't. What are the supporters? It's just petrol boss.
It's like petrol boss and judge.
And judge, yeah, a judge would be pretty good, especially if Eli just decides to just draw a ton of cards or just stay like this. A judge seems pretty good because he does have a pretty decent hand for a second turn.
Yeah.
And
there's the trolley.
Yeah, now he needs a petrol. You can't just grab trolley. There it is.
Petrol.
Right.
Okay, petrol will get the trolley.
And we see that Gravity Mountain is in the deck, which does help against the Hydrapple.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, so what are your thoughts on, just in general, I mean, you've only seen one game of this the start of a second game of Excadrill. I personally thought the petrol, I was like, I don't know. You have Call for Family, the Drill Burst 70 HP. Why are we not playing Buddy Poffin and Lilies? Petrol Trolley seems like a 1.0, like a beta version of the list. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it was better when we had Arvin, because then you can thin out more cards. I feel like if we were able to, it felt good when I used to play when we played the Arch Zoro deck and we just go, Arvin for TM Evo and then the trolley, because then that felt broken because you just Evo into two.
Dan realizing you cannot snipe a Terra. He just benches the 3 prizes and realizes you cannot actually hit the Ogerpon with that.
Yeah. So but I mean, you do have the phone, the Team
transceiver.
The transceiver.
Yeah. So you have a lot of ways to find petrol. I think it's just when we were playing the game, my concern was just you technically are just playing off your board, right? Once you have the Genesect out and you trolley, you don't really need anything anymore, right?
Yeah, but that's another thing. Do you that's once you get it out, do you you're just holding Poffins in your hand then,
Yeah. So I guess the question is once you're playing off your board, do you care that you don't really have a draw engine, you don't have any draw supporters, right? Are you just fine I've set up with trolley and this is going to be what I'm playing with for the rest of the game?
Yeah, maybe you could put in I would hate to say Carmine or Morty's, just how to get just get rid of the other dead cards,
Yeah, no, definitely. And now we see Eli. He does have 2 Ogerpon out. He doesn't have he has a Dawn in hand, so the Dawn could get him all of his guys, but the Apple deck needs a couple different stage 2 lines. He needs the Meganium in play, and he needs the Hydrapple in play. He can't really just do a lot with just one of them.
Yeah, and now he's setting up the Meowth. I think he's going to go for Lilies or something. I feel like that's... Because you said he has the Dawn in hand. He's going to get the Lilies. He's going to probably just try and find some more Ball Search cards. Or he's just going to, he could have maybe Ultra Balled for, away just to get maybe one of the pieces down. But if you miss, then you miss. And that kind of stinks. But there's not really any sniping, so like there's. I don't know, I feel like maybe you could have just like ultra balled away some of those pieces. Like I don't know what else was in his hand. Like maybe the Dawn. No, probably not the Dawn. Yeah, maybe ultra balling probably wasn't good there either.
Yeah, one thing I'm curious about is like I think Hydra Apple players have learned that sometimes if you neglect your actual board for taking early prizes, you can get punished for that. So I think Eli definitely had like the vision of like, well, I could just Dawn and get Meganium attached to Tapu Bulu and just kind of start attacking, right? But then it's like,
Yeah,
is
what
that
do you
what
do
you
next?
want your
Yeah.
board to look like, right?
Yeah, because then you're just taking one prize, and then you're just like sitting with like a few cards in hand. We're gonna get a nice little draw here, and it looks like he's just drawing a bunch of cards, which is one of the best parts about this deck. But the problem is, I think now he needs to find like all like the lines, and if he can, I think he has like a few of the cards in hand, but he needs to find a few more. Let's
He's
see.
got some middle evolutions, but not any basics. Ooh.
Well, he did get those, but that doesn't. You don't really want to put any of those more down.
Yeah, you can't bench another one, so he's just stuck with a Diplin in hand.
Is that a
might just-
Celebi?
It is a Celebi, but he can't retreat into it.
Now that is tough. He wants to so bad. He put it to the front.
He's
of his
like
hand.
he was holding with the energy. Arctic saying, yeah, what if if you're running a petrol engine, why are we not playing the Rocket Stadium and just draw some cards? That could be your draw engine.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of decks starting to do that, especially like we saw like was it Josh Frink and Alex Shmansky play like that version of
They were playing the Metagross deck, right?
the Metagross or Kangaskhan.
Oh, Kangaskhan, yeah,
With
yeah.
they played Petrol and they played that the Rockets factory to draw some cards. So that might actually be a good move. I think what you have with the Gravity Mountain is really good to help against like those like Hydrapple of Mega Greninja in some
Yeah.
cases, especially because it does was it 3. It does enough. It does exactly 330, right?
It does 330. So then all the mega stage 2s, then it kind of helps with that. It also helps with Metagross, right? Don't forget, like you're basically adding Excadrill to an already existing kind of like Metal Toolbox deck, right?
yeah.
Which is funny because we have a lot of locals in our area who've been playing this Metal Toolbox deck and trying to make it work. And a couple times I've played against them, like your early attack, like before you can get your Metagross out, you're attacking with Genesect. You don't really want to attack with Genesect. Now you have Excadrill, which mills, which is super fat, which can one-shot anything. It's just a really nice upgrade for that Metal deck.
Yeah, I think milling I think against when we were playing, you milled like the red card, and I prized the last red card, and I'm like, okay, that was actually kind of tough.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have really helped though, because like maybe it would have just gave you some more opportunities to hit the Matangs at the end, because you did whiff I think like one, and maybe you've just gotten closer to another.
Yeah.
So I mean that's all situational too. So like who knows? Let's see what judged into.
Yeah, Dan's
See it-
continuing to develop his board.
I see a Diplin. I see. What else do I see there? I don't
Jason
even.
saying Cinchino with Metal is goaded. Yeah, I mean, this Metang energy acceleration is a lot of fun. The fact that you can put it on anything really kind of like diversifies all the opportunities you have with the deck.
Yeah, and like it seems like the only thing that you can really do anything is just like kind of just snipe these Matangs somehow with like maybe Wellspring, and that's like the only way to really stop it, or a Slow King deck to really just like kind of get a cure. If you can get a Curum on these things, I feel like it's just over, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So
Archeladon, you're saying with the Hyperaroma, you do play the Genesect though, so that's kind of like your Hyperaroma in the deck. So here, Dan actually milling 2 Grass Energy, which is actually really brutal, right?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, the interesting thing about the Excadrill is it either does a ton of damage or a little bit of damage, and you have these kind of mid-range Pokemon like this Tapu Bulu, where it's like, do I really want to put 5 energy onto my 3 prizer to knock out a 1 prizer? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, that doesn't feel good, but that's like the great part about having like the Metagross too. Like you can just come back with your 1 prizer and then kill a Hydrapple. Seems pretty good. It'll just you're just down a lot of energies, which becomes a problem as well. Another good thing is like is the Excadrill resistant to grass?
To grass, yeah. So I mean, to be honest, I don't know what the math is here with all the grass guys. I do think that if you put 5 energy on it, that Grass Ogerpon will blow it up. It doesn't really matter that it resists grass, because if Grass Ogerpon has 3 energy
And you
on
have a
it,
Meganium,
yeah, with Meganium that'll be 6 energy essentially, 6 7 energy counting the active, and then 5 energy on the Excadrill. I mean, that's 12.
Times 2.
Yeah, 12. Well, that'd be 12, 12 times 3, 360 damage.
Times 2, because you have.
Yeah.
Or times the whatever's on the.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math here. I think you need 4 energy on. If you have 5 energy on Excadrill, I think 4 energy on Ogerpon does the trick, which is not hard to get.
Yeah, no, it actually seems a lot. It's a lot easier than it always seems. You just got to get the 3 times table out. So
yeah, exactly.
I saw someone tweeted that out, and I saved it on my phone because I'll never forget. You know, just gotta always show people. You know.
Yeah. Well, now we're getting these weird numbers, right? Because you got the 30 plus 30, which is multiplied by 2, which is also reduced by 30 with the Excadrill, right?
And it's at 340, so it's like it's
340 is such an awkward number for a lot of decks.
Yeah, and then they're definitely doing that on purpose because they know like people are trying to get to that 330 number.
Yeah, apparently Excadrill, at least we'll see how Dragapult develops. I mean, do you think that Blaziken's going to be more popular? Because in theory, the 340 HP on a Pokemon that can one-shot Dragapult, I mean, there's been a lot of Dragapult killers, but that's a Dragapult killer if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I think is Moltres going to be really good again too? Like
that's a really good question, right?
Like Moltres has to be definitely get some good damage in there so you can like easily just clean up with the Dragapult and then the following turns or use a Blaziken.
Then what Moltres does 220. And then, oh, never mind. That does enough. What am I talking about?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of damage, and Dan's finding a lot of metal energy right now. So
yeah, he is preparing. I think he realizes you don't want a situation where you just give up 2-3 prize attackers. He's setting up these Metagrosses because he knows that with the Gravity Mountain, the Metagross will be able to one-shot Hydrapple.
Yeah, and now he's debating what he wants to discard. Realizes he has Genesect, and then we're gonna grab. Let's see, we're probably just gonna grab like some extra Pokemon that probably don't do anything, like a Matang.
Yeah, at this point you're just thinning your deck.
Yeah,
which is interesting because the fact that you can go into your deck after doing the Metal Maker allows you to kind of rearrange your deck a little bit, right? Like, that's a play I did against you, which didn't really work out, but I had done some Metal Makers. I saw all these Petrels go to the bottom of my deck, and then I said, okay, I'm going to search my deck, hopefully shuffle them back in, because I know if I have Pokegear now, I'm definitely not going to find one.
Yeah, and there.
Ooh, the Meganium. That's brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal. But, I mean, the good thing about this deck is that it does play, like, Lana's Aid, which is such a really good card. That was another card I was kind of like... Wait, Briar. Is this mine?
I think so.
Am I playing Briar? I don't. Oh, they were talking
about adding a Briar to the
Okay,
deck.
that's why I was like, wait a second. I don't even have a full art Briar either. So I'm like, where'd the Briar come from?
Must be Eli's.
Yeah. So, I don't know if I like the Briar play. I'm a big fan of our friend Ben over here. So. I don't think he's a fan of the Briar either.
Yeah, we are kind of off because Dan took a 1 prize knockout. We are kind of off the Briar timeline, right? We're not going to be. Yeah. Dan's not really going 2-2-2 here, which is not ideal for Dan, right? You didn't want to take a 1 prize knockout. If you took a 1 prize knockout, you would have rather boss that Applin just to make it harder for Eli to get a big attacker out.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have to start doing some math here.
That was a ripening charge that he used.
That's a ripening charge. All right. So then once we have Meganium out, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
He's got to get the Meganium
14
out,
times 3. That'll be more, plus the 30. That will be more than enough. But he still needs to find the Meganium.
But if we don't find the Meganium, how much damage are we doing is the question.
Not enough.
Yeah. So.
And 1 is discarded.
And there's double night
and a stretcher. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so he will get the Meganium, and now it's Dan's turn to respond. But here's the fun thing: he can kind of turn his deck into a 1 prize deck now.
Yeah, there's the Metagross. I mean, not the Metagross. There's the Fez, because there's the other Meganium. So we can save the Night Stretchers. He's doing the math. Yes, he can take the knockout. We're just going to do some math real quick in our head. That's the problem when you're playing Hydrapple and you have Meganium. You just got to do the quick math in your head because it doesn't do it automatically for you.
Yeah, Eli's got 8 energy on the board. That's essentially 16 times 3 plus 30 minus 30, just enough. And he takes 3 prizes. And now it's Dan's turn to respond. He will have the Rocket's Transceiver to find Petrol, to find the Gravity Mountain. So he will be able to trade with using a 1 prizer.
Yeah, he's going to grab there. That Gravity Mountain. Already discarding the Forest of Vitality. Doesn't even second guess that it's coming down.
Yeah, and then here's the interesting thing, because Eli, I mean, it stinks because Dan does have that Genesect on the bench, which does give Eli a path to win. Because if you were just, forcing Eli to just break through multiple Metagross, that might be a really strong game-winning position, but Eli's hand is pretty big now, and not a lot of hand disruption from Dan's end, other than Judge.
Yeah,
And he did just use Petrol.
Yeah, and we see Dan's at 5 prizes still. He's got to find. I don't know what else is like this. Like you said, he's playing off his board. Is this Mega Skarmory ever gonna find a way into this game?
I could see it being like a game-winning knockout, right? Knocking out the Fez or the Meowth, right?
Yeah, those are always options. You guys got to make sure he does not hit these Teal Mask. He can't make that mistake.
Yeah, definitely. So I think Dan's backup option here is if Eli's able to start putting not even a comeback, but keep the aggression going, I think his win condition is to try to judge him and go back into the Excadrill. Make Eli go through, like I said, you don't want to bench the Excadrill now. You don't want to make it easy to take 2-3 prizers. But after you judge him, after you've knocked out a Hydrapple and an Ogerpon, or maybe boss the Meganium, right? Like, you can then put the Excadrill back in, and Eli might not be able to get through all that.
Okay, so now I have a question. So I know in Slowking, if you play the Metagross, you don't have to discard the energy. But if the Metagross attacks, you have to discard the energy?
Yeah, it specifically says that you can do 150 more if you discard. You can choose to discard 3 metal, and if you do, you discard.
Or you do the extra damage.
Yeah, it's phrased very strange. It's like if you choose to discard 3 metal, you do 150 more. And Slowking says, yes, I will choose to. There are no metal to discard, but I will choose to do it.
That is very okay. That's what I wanted to clear up. If anyone had any questions about that, because it is such a weird card, and this, they should have just made it a little bit more clear somehow.
Yes.
So
here's the interesting thing. Eli, how much energy does he need to knock out Metagross? 1, 2, 3, 4.
And Dan has 1 attached. He has enough to take a knockout.
Because it has Gravity Mountain in play, but that gets negated by the resistance.
Yeah, but I think it doesn't matter when Eli has all these cards in hand. He's gonna find, he's to find the forest. He's got an unfair stamp in his hand too. Yeah,
Hydrapple's actually the scary one here. If Eli's able to get another Hydrapple and Dan only has the 1 Gravity Mountain, that might be the deal breaker here, unless he can do something like bossing an Ogerpon and just removing a bunch of energy.
Yeah, and let's see here. I don't think the Briar's not going to do anything. This is the end of Eli's deck, so maybe
wow, he's really burned through that deck.
Maybe there is a way where he can boss. No, something's going to be able to retreat. But what if he just mills? Is there a chance where he can mill enough cards? Probably not, but he's running out of cards.
Yeah, Eli's running very low on energy. Dan milled some early, and Eli only has 1 Night Stretcher left. So there's always a world where you boss Fez and mill the last Night Stretcher, right? But that feels very unlikely. I'm curious if Eli goes in with this Hydrapple, if Dan's target moving forward might just be the Meganium. And there's the stamp.
Okay, so he puts more cards back in his deck, which isn't bad. And there is Lana's Aid has to be prized, right? So
it seems like it.
That is another issue, and it looks like he might be able to get it off the prizes here if he takes 1. Not necessarily. It's not necessarily going to happen, but there is a chance.
Yeah. Something nice for Eli or nice for Dan is that Eli has not bossed up that Genesect. I think. You do want to knock out this Metagross, but there is a lot of, knocking at that Genesect means that you need to win on the next turn, right?
Yeah.
There's always a possibility that Eli has to go through a Metagross, then another Metagross, then another Metagross, right? But if he cannot boss around it, he has a boss in hand though. I don't know. Do you think Eli bosses the Genesect here, if you were him?
I am not entirely sure. Because Dan just drew Petrol, and so there's a Jumbo Ice Cream also, and he has the Skarmory. What is he gonna try and get here? He's just gonna thin the deck. Wait, is there 2 Mega Skarmories in the deck?
There's just 1.
Okay, what did it look like he had in hand? I thought he had it in his hand.
It is Mega Skarmory.
I thought I saw one in the deck.
Oh, then I don't know. Might be another.
See, there's Mega.
Oh, then I am uncertain what is in Dan's hand. Or it's another yellow border card that I'm getting confused about.
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out very soon. Maybe it's Excadrill.
I think it's the yellow on Excadrill because all the megas have the yellow / kind of graphic on them.
Okay. I just want to make
I
sure.
think we got a little confused there. So what is Dan's win condition here? How does he put himself back into a winning position?
I think so. He can't. I don't really think he can. He can't evolve an Excadrill. He's got to take out I don't know. But Eli is so set up with everything. He can really just get out another Meganium, and he's already showing him he's got it. That's why I think that's the problem here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm seeing there's not much he can do, but I think Dan's just gonna play it out just to play it out,
Yeah. I gotta say though, I do think that if you knock out this Ogerpon Dan, Eli would not have enough energy to win with Hydrapple. I actually don't think he would.
Well, no, because if with the Meganium, it gains.
I think he would only have 6 energy on the board. That actually wouldn't be enough.
So yeah, but then it's times 2, so it's 12.
Yeah. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Eli is able to get the knockout. Yeah, I think, it's funny because Eli started that Tapu Bulu, which you don't really want to start.
Yeah.
But the fact that it forced Dan to use a 3-prize Pokemon to knock out a 1-prizer allowed Eli to get himself back into a winning position. And that kind of shows something interesting about our meta. The 3-prizers are really strong on paper, but they don't always trade the best with these 2-prize Pokemon.
Oh. Did you have fun though, Dan?
No, it was great.
Who's playing next?
Whoever wants to.
I can try playing a game. I can play Festival Lead.
All right, one of you should play Festival Lead.
Oh yeah, dude, let's see some Festival Lead.
I'll play some Festival Lead. Lead's a fun deck.
I was just excited to play Excadrill.
That's what it's.
Dan, are we putting Lilies and Buddy Poppin in this deck instead of
Goodness,
Petrol?
for the love of God, please.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel great.
So I will say one thing. I prized Fez. And so if
Gotcha.
I've been able to see a couple extra cards each turn, that's maybe a different game.
Yeah.
But, dude, that was real. The only thing I think I could have done differently is knock out that Bulu earlier.
We were talking about that. It's like, do you want to really give him Stamp, give him Fez with a 3-prizer on the active by knocking out Tapu Bulu, or do you want to just kind of take another turn to set up? That was a really interesting position you were in.
I think if my hand was better, I would have knocked it out.
Yeah.
But my hand was appalling.
Yes.
So I need to just try to put him in a worse spot and mill something important.
Yeah.
But if I was able to access Fez, if I had a Judge or a Boss in hand, I think I would take the knockout there and just put the 1 extra energy. But you saw, once he was able to get going, he just kind of flooded the board, and that's
tough.
scary.
Yeah, I mean, that damage builds up. The having 340 HP, having resistance to grass, it's all kind of meaningless once your Hydrapple's doing 400 damage to you.
It is wild. And Sammy, yes, if I was going to Worlds, I will tell you all, this is the lame me that's not saying, oh, look at this cool deck. I would play Dragapult in a heartbeat. That is by far the best deck in format.
Yeah, I was telling Dan when we were playing our game earlier, as soon as I started recon directing, I was like, wow, there's a reason this is the best deck. There's a reason that I had a pretty good run at our invitational with the slop box and the Kangaskhan drawing, and then last week at locals it did not work very well. And then I'm like, wow, being able to recon directive, being able to buddy pop, and being able to lilies, I'm like, dang. This is why this deck is so good. Dragapult's really strong.
Dude, it's so good. Also, have we shared the charity link recently?
Uncertain.
All right, beautiful. So while they're getting set up, just wanted to say one quick time because you guys talk about it while I was gone.
We have not.
All right, then I'm going to spam you with it.
Sorry, Dan.
Guys, we have no, that's fine. We have a charity event on Sunday. You should all come. You should play in person. Or if you don't want to play in person, you should hang out with us because we'll be yapping all Sunday. But we have a charity tournament in pitch black format played here on site starting at 11 a.m. Sunday. And Bryce, being the lovely person he is, will put the links to donate into the YouTube and Twitch chat. And so if you guys can, please donate, share with someone, pass it on. We'll be doing a ton of good giveaways on stream, and we have a lot of great prizes here too. So we'd love to have you participate if you can.
Yeah.
And no, go ahead.
I'll just say follow us on social media. Follow us
Yes.
on NRGTCG on Twitter to see our updates because we are just kind of finalizing what our giveaway kind of goals are going to be. But we will be giving away various sealed products, various mats,
Deck boxes,
sleeves,
exclusive
plushies.
stuff from Japan,
Sent to anyone in the continental United States.
Correct. Thank you. And Thomas, if you're watching, I'm still trying to make sure that stupid thing is getting to you, so I'm working on it. But yeah, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah. Join us. But yeah, follow us on social media. We're finalizing what our prizing is going to be. We're going to get some cool stuff. And if you are able to play in person in the pitch black format, the winner will get a sealed Paradox Rift booster box. So we have some amazing prizing, and all of the money raised not only on this link, not only what's raised from the donations on stream, but also everyone's entry is going directly to charity to support the Ronald McDonald House in Chicago.
Absolutely. Not a single penny y'all are donating goes to anyone other than the charity. So it's a wonderful thing. But getting to the game here, Eli playing that Mega Greninja starts with a Zora, not ideal, but fine. Gets a Froakie down, not ideal, but fine. And their hand is not amazing otherwise.
Yeah. This is interesting because one thing I was thinking about is how well do the game designers think ahead and know what they're doing?
Well, when they give Kevin hands like that, they've designed this to be the best
With
deck
the
in
secret
format.
box. Yes.
Holy.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is, like, it's very interesting because Greninja came out. It sounds good on paper. I was talking about this earlier. You have Grimmsnarl, which is weaker in power than the BDIF Dragapult, but it's more consistent with things like Spike Myth. On the other hand, you have Greninja, which is stronger on paper, does more damage than Dragapult. It snipes more. You can do multiple in a turn. But on the other hand, the deck is super inconsistent. But then you have Festival Lead, which is maybe on its way to being one of the best decks in the format. Dan, did they know that Festival Lead would become so good, and now we have Greninja coming on the scene? Maybe it's finally Greninja's time to shine.
No.
No?
Sorry, for the content, yes, it should. No, just no. I do think Greninja's more of a throwback than anything else, and we were talking about it before. I do think Greninja's going to be much better once Dragapult rotates, because there will be something to fill that slot of spread, setup, checkmate deck. I'll be honest, I don't think they expected Festival Lead to be good. I think they expected more to be one of those fun decks that people play with, kind of that parasitic deck where it all comes from one slot. But man, especially with this new Gladion, Festival Lead appears to be really, really, really good.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I have not played it yet myself, but I have heard from good players that this deck is shaping up to be quite the force at the World Championship.
Well, and so here's the thing with it. It won the Master Ball in, I want to say it was Malaysia. I could be wrong with that. It has the ability to one-shot anything in the game, essentially, and it now gained a new supporter that lets it do 80 more damage per attack to anything, not just EXs. And I think, to me, that's the biggest difference maker, because now decks like Zoroark, decks like whatever else, you can't put a Monkey Dory up and have it tank a hit. Now, any single prize Pokemon you put in the active can get knocked out with a single attack, leaving you to attack again.
Yeah, and Arctic saying that Festival Lead is broken is Dragapult propaganda, but that's the scary part. When you're facing Festival Lead before, they knock out your Budu, you bring up your Monkey Dory, and they're just kind of sitting there. And, at the end of the day, it's not like they're doing like a turn 2 Gladion double kill, I hope, even though Kevin's hand sure is able to do that with that secret box. That is not going to be something very common. It will probably usually be used just to blow up 2 prizers and 3 prizers. But nonetheless, Festival Lead is a pretty strong deck. And, as a Dragapult player, I played a couple Festival Leads in LA when I was playing Rare Candy in my deck, playing a very turbo version of the Dragapult deck. And it felt slightly favored. And when you're playing it, with this slow Dragapult with Candy, without any techs, the matchup, I'm not going to lie, straight Dragapult does not feel that great against Festival Lead.
So I will say, I played Festival Lead in Indy, and I did beat it, but it was a 2-1.
Yeah.
And the way Festival Lead beats Dragapult is if they just run you over too quickly, and the deck has the capacity to do that. And it's not complicated either. And I will say, this Gladion supporter makes it a lot easier, because now you can't do something like shove a Monkey for their second attack or shove a Meowth for their second attack, because they'll one-shot it.
Yeah, and the deck certainly still has some glaring weaknesses, which, again, Kevin has that secret box. He has that Thwacky in hand. He's going to be doing pretty good this turn, but the deck has some glaring weaknesses. It's very susceptible to item lock. If you boss up a Thwacky, it can get stuck. If you get stamped, you might not be able to come back. The deck certainly has weaknesses, and those are not going anywhere despite it being able to do more damage. But one of its weaknesses of needing a 2-card combo to knock out 2 prize stage 2s is being fixed.
Yes, agreed. And so, Chaz, exactly, with Gladion, anything under 210, that is in range of a single knockout. And don't really want to play this clunky deck with hammers. So I agree. I would tend to agree, Sammy. I think this deck, this Festival Elite deck, is really, really strong, but I would be hesitant to run it unless you are confident you can beat Dragapult more than half the time. And that's the thing with Fall. Kind of like you said, it doesn't feel overwhelming. You don't feel like you run them over. But, man, it still doesn't feel good to sit down with Festival Lead and have your opponent flip over a Dreepy.
Yeah. And we're going to see, this is going to be kind of tough for Eli because he's going to get this Zorua knocked out. What do you think he promotes here?
So, if Kevin plays this Gladion, I think he has to promote the other Zorua.
Yeah, because he's secret boxing here. I thought he was for some reason I thought he was playing that ultra.
No.
He is secret boxing. So he's gonna be able to get this whole combo. If you bring up that Meowth, it's gonna get knocked out as long as Kevin gets one more bench Pokemon. If you bring up that Zoroark, he gets knocked out. Yeah, I think it just has to be the Zorua, and you gotta hope for Eli does have Candy, so he will be able to get a big Candy attack next turn, and you just kind of gotta go from there.
Well, so and Kevin debating going with the boss's orders. And I don't really mind that. I don't think there's anything wrong with either bossing up that Froakie or bossing up that Zoroark to knock it out, because I think both put you in a fine position, especially knowing you're going to get double Thwacky down this turn as well.
Yeah, the Gladion certainly is the flashy play, but one thing you can't forget is that you do have to basically, cut your whole hand down to size. So you could put together a slightly more kind of workable hand and still have a very effective turn.
And I think that's kind of what Kevin's going for, is saying, I don't need to do the big crazy thing. If I just set up my board, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so going with the energy attachment to the Dipplin, the Thwacky down, attaching an air balloon onto the Thwacky, attaching an air balloon onto the Thwacky.
He's working on it. But I do still think he gets boss here. I think that Thwacky gets boss. You knock out the Froakie, and you have the Lily for the following turn.
I don't like that.
You think? I don't know. I think there is still some risk. I guess maybe you're just fully set up with 2 Thwacky, and you're not afraid of the risk of like a Candy into some kind of shenanigans with Greninja.
So so I have thoughts on this, but Rafal, one thing with this setup is I think the way Kevin used those Thwackies, this is a time when you're playing this deck, sequencing is really important, because Kevin, I think, could have gotten the first Thwacky and just played the Lily. And then off of the Lily, if he sees a Thwacky, if he sees a Grookey, whatever, then he can use the other Boom Boom Grooves to set up a combo for Gladion or something like that.
Yeah, even though he's drawing an 8-card hand and we'll get a lot to work with, there's always little things like that. And, that's the thing we always try to talk about on stream, right? It's just the little things like that where, Kevin had a really good starting hand. He is in a very strong position, but there's always little things you can do to make your position even stronger.
Yes. And so Kevin does attack, does take his first prize. Oh, and is able to get a 2-prize turn. And that is huge.
Yeah, Eli, you could not have promoted that. Well, if you promoted that Zoroark, it would have taken 200 damage. I mean, you could have promoted the Zoroark with Air Balloon, but it becomes very susceptible to getting knocked out by anything.
I agree. I still probably would have promoted it, but I agree. So going into Eli's, Jason, you pulled the SIR Darkrai. Whew, that is a beautiful card, man. And yeah, dude, rip it. Do I think it's the best deck? No. Do I think it is cool as all get out? Yes. Listen to your heart. But Fall, what is Eli's heart telling him here? Because my heart is telling me that Eli is in a very poor spot.
Yeah, Eli's heart is, I don't know. I mean, his deck does play the Totodile. You have the option to kind of stick this Festival Lead deck and try to buy yourself a turn or two. Although, like we said, Kevin did just get himself a massive hand. But this is one of the things we're talking about, right? If he had saved that Thwacky, one of those Thwackies could be used now to get a switch, which he top-decked anyway.
Did he?
I think he did, which he's drawing very well, so it doesn't matter. But again, it's the little things like that, right? In situations where you don't draw the switch, you want to save that Thwacky and prepare yourself for any possible wacky situation. But Eli here is going to Hilda.
Really? Use Thwacky for the wacky situation?
I didn't even think about
That's
that.
incredible. Great work.
Thwacky sure is wacky.
No, but using the Hilda here for that Neo Uppy and that Mega Greninja, I kind of agree, and I think for those watching, this is where that sequencing really matters, because even if you get all the pieces you need for that turn, if you put yourself in a losing position the following turns, it doesn't really matter because you feel good for about 10 seconds and then you go, oh God, where do I go from here?
Do you think that Eli is just kind of making the bet here that I'm going to attack, I'm going to snipe, Kevin cannot get his hand down to 0 for Gladion, and then I'll board wipe in the following turn?
Kevin just because Kevin used Secret Box earlier, so there's no max belt.
Yeah, and he took 2 prizes. He has like a 10-card hand.
I actually think that's a safe bet. And so with this Mega Greninja, going to be able to slap 60 damage on a Pokemon wherever, throw on the Diplin, which I think is absolutely the correct choice, and then will be able to knock out this Diplin with that Greninja attack, put the Neo Uppy back to hand. And to be honest, there's probably an argument for leaving the Neo Uppy down, except for you basically just lose the game if Kevin does take this knockout.
Yeah, I don't think this version of even though it's playing Zoroark as a draw engine, I don't think it's playing something like a Reshiram or a Zekrom.
No.
So like the Neo Upper could like hypothetically go on the Zoroark, but you have nothing to copy with that attack.
It also doesn't work on Zoroark because it only provides 2 Rainbow for Stage 2s.
Stage 2s? I thought it was Evolution Pokemon.
Nope,
My
Stage
mistake.
2s.
So yeah, here Kevin is going to try to piece together a play where he gets his hand down to 0, which all those cards are playable in some fashion. He's definitely lucky that he has that Ultra Ball to work with.
So that is one thing for Festival Lead. Previously, Ultra Ball, not a card you really wanted to see.
Yeah.
But now, with Gladion, you can construct your deck in a different way where you have much more control over your hand size. And also, Mega Absol is way less common. Airy isn't being played at all. There's so many fewer cards that try to break down your hand that it's okay to burn into the ground sometimes.
Yeah. So what does Eli? How does Kevin do this? Because he has to like start. He has to like. He has that Force of Vitality, which like that cannot be played. That needs to be discarded. I think you discard the. Yeah, some of the Pokemon you can bench one of them. You then have to play the switch into Thwack. You retreat back. You've got to play the Poffin for 0. You got to do a couple things here.
So this, I think, is the tricky part, is Kevin does not have a way to thin out the rest of the cards in his hand. That was the only Ultra Ball available to him, and so he's not going to be able to thin his hand down. So to be honest, if we're not going to be able to take a knockout, I think it's okay just to get another Applin in play and boop this thing.
Yes. Or, do you think you boss something and try to get another knockout, or do you just get this Greninja super low?
You know, honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea either. Just boss up Fezandipity or Zoroark to just clear it from the board. I think that makes sense. I think to me it depends on how likely are you to be able to one-shot this Mega Greninja the next turn.
Yeah.
Right now, not very likely.
Yeah. So yeah, because that's it's not like Eli can. Well,
don't bad.
you do want that to be a Diplin or an Applin. You want that to be an Applin.
I think he needs it to be an Applin.
Because what's the math? I mean, Sea King with the Gladion and the Bangle, that's still not enough, right? It'd be 110 plus. It does what, 60?
So it'd be
60 plus 80.
It'd be a 170 hit. And so 170 twice is 340, and Mega Greninja has 350.
Wow. Which nonetheless, wow, that's a lot of damage.
Yes. So it is. The thing, and that's why it's so important for Kevin to put down an Applin here, is if he is going to knock this out, it has to be with Diplin. And to be honest,
although he has another Bangle, he could like take a boss knockout this turn and then do another boss knockout next turn with Sea King.
And so that's very true then. Yes, if Kevin's able to go boss, that does stop him from having to go through this Mega Greninja. And so Eli, I think, only has red cards to disrupt. And with that in mind, actually, maybe Kevin knowing he's going to go down below 3 prizes, having that Goldeen down is probably the right choice.
Yeah, it's funny because it's just this little Goldeen. It just kind of sits there, but it allows you to promote something with Festival Lead, right? Just the fact, the Thwacky ability is so powerful. Searching for any card you want and having 3 quick searches, it doesn't really matter that you're promoting this little Goldeen because it unlocks your whole engine.
I agree. And to be honest, I think I would have liked to see that. Oh, no, I guess we do need the Bangle to knock out Fez. Kevin takes 2 prizes off of the Fezandipity. Energy and a Stadium. Those are both really good prizes. And now Eli will be able to wipe Diplins from the board, and the pressure's going to be on Kevin to take his last 2 prizes before Eli can run him out of attackers.
Yeah, the biggest question here now is, can Eli get the red card? If you can disrupt Kevin, you might be able to put yourself in a position where you will be able to win this game, despite him having such an explosive start.
And I think that's the question. So hand disruption, even if it's more limited in this format, is still so important, especially against decks like Kevin's here. And Eli deciding to trade before playing the lilies in hand.
Yeah, I think there's no other supporter, unless there's something I'm missing. I don't know if there's another supporter that's really worth playing. I do think you just play that lilies to start.
And I agree. So even though Eli's hand is kind of full of crap, I think thin out the water energy, attach the
There's
Neil
enough crap
Uppy.
that you can play something, right? It's not like
Correct.
it's like 8 dead cards that you don't want to get back into your deck. You could play like half that hand out.
And so this is when that sequencing question also comes to mind. If there was something like Iono, something that had put cards at the bottom of Eli's deck, maybe he says shuffling in decreases my odds. But right now, you have 0 outs in hand to go get it, and you're hoping to see 2. At least give yourself a % chance to see more outs to play the game.
Yeah, and we're going to see Eli here. He's just going to thin his deck. He's wondering what he wants to bench. I think you're not really afraid of benching anything at this point. Kevin, I think if Kevin's able to play the game, he's in a winning position. So Eli doesn't really care about benching anything here. You know, if he bosses a Froakie, you just promote the Mega. You don't care, right?
100%.
So you're just going to lilies here, try to draw into a red card, and see where you can go. I do wonder if Eli might have wanted to leave 1 bench spot open in case he draws into a Night Stretcher for Pheasantipity.
I agree with you there. I do think having that additional bench spot would have been very important. But Eli may be saying, the way I'm going to win this game is through multiple Greninja spreads, not through being able to pull off a combo here.
But you kind of need, I mean, you don't need that red card. I guess we'll have to wait and see what Kevin's kind of combo is here. But he really just needs Sea King Bangle Boss to win the game.
Correct. And so that's, I think,
Which
why...
I guess is a 3-card combo that it doesn't even matter if you get a red card, does it?
So he needs Seeking, Bangle Boss, and Stadium.
And Stadium. Well, Eli has to bump the Stadium.
Yes. If Eli is able to bump the Stadium and a red card, he's not. This
And
is
Eli has
awful.
nothing.
Everything is
Ooh,
terrible.
That's awkward. Yeah, I think Kevin might have it here.
I'm pretty sure, unless Kevin just absolutely refused to set up his hand, he's got it here. And so we do see the knockout by Eli, knocking out the Applin, keeping the energy there, which I think is absolutely correct. If this Mega Greninja goes down, you lose.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So Kevin has a lot of cards to work with. He just needs a Sea King, he needs a Boss, and he needs a Bangle.
And there's the Boss. And then we see Boss on the Meowth, and just needs a Bangle or modifier of some kind.
Which is in the deck, I believe. I think he just uses a second Thwacky. I'm almost certain he plays another one, unless he's realizing he made a mistake. But I thought I saw another one in the deck. Maybe he's not sure himself.
I could have sworn there was another one in the deck. Well, this...
Oh,
okay. We're good.
Eli thinking that Kevin screwed up, and Kevin's just slow rolling him. Unbelievable.
Okay, so Festival Lead did take him down after some tilting gameplay. So unfortunately, Mega Greninja's not having a run of it today.
Mega Greninja is not performing up to par today, unfortunately. No. There's I think it's just frustrating because you can just taste the potential, right?
I know.
I was telling Eli, well, first of all, if it did 220 damage instead of 200, that'd be pretty nice. But
so there's a reason it doesn't, because then it would be
really broken, because then it would knock out everything, right?
Well, not only that, it would knock out every basic, and then if you include the ability once, you would knock out every stage 1.
Well, even if you include the ability twice, you do 340, and that would knock out.
That's just we need to not do that.
So it could always be strong. It could always be stronger, but the issue is the consistency, right? Is Greninja the way to play it, or is Zoroark the way to play it? Is Dunsparce the way to play it. Is
Right.
Dracloak the way to play it? But then if you're playing Dracloak, it's like, why are we not just playing Dragapult, right?
Well, so let's do one more round before we get everyone out of here. Rafal, I'll go ahead and let you pop out there.
Sounds good.
If you want to play against Kevin.
Yeah, why not?
And then Eli, you and I can come hang out after you cooked me with the BFA. And Cheese and Rice, exactly. Mega Greninja is absolutely a throwback to Greninja Break. And man, that was a stage 3. And now we just have it as a stage 1. It's way tanky. It could be good. Sorry, stage 2. Thank you. These numbers and things and math. But Eli, did you disown Kevin as your friend forever after
he
found the
lied.
angle?
He said, I don't have it in deck. And I said, okay, then I win. And he said, never mind, it's in my deck. And I threw my hand on the table.
That is fantastic. I'm so here for it. All right, so then what do you think you want to see for the last round here?
Just new decks. It'd be fun to see, like, we've seen Extra Drill twice.
Yes.
Um,
Well, so I think the hide and sneak. Here's my question for you, Eli, because right
Yes.
now everyone is building it as a Delmise deck. Is that the right way to build it?
I don't know. I feel like if you build it to like consistently spread, that could be like a good way of playing it too. Just because of how powerful spread is, and then like Spirit Gym, you can like just nuke 2 things,
Right.
and it could be pretty good. So I don't know if heavy Delmise is the correct way to play it. I think like a 1 or 2 Delmise so that you have it for Dragapult would be good. But like pure Delmise, I don't know if it's good enough.
So, and I completely agree, because if you tell me you're building your deck around doing 170 each turn, your deck is not good.
Your
Like,
deck
that's not going to
is-
do it.
Even as a 1-prizer, that's like not great. Just go play Festival League.
Right.
Like,
so the reason I think this deck could be good is because the spread is so powerful, and you have a strong, efficient attacker
Exactly.
if they play around the spread. So what I would say is, and I'll put this out into the universe, I think you all building hide and sneak as a Delmise deck, I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think we need to build it as a spread deck with Delmise and a Clefairy to complement it into Dragapult. So
I agree.
I'm curious if Sunday people bring that version more,
Yeah.
since that's definitely not the way people are building it right now. All right, so then Eli, we're planning for Sunday. What are you going to play Sunday?
Great question.
Okay, fair enough.
Great question.
I'm glad we had this talk, Eli. Good. Are you not bringing Raging Bolt? Is that not the move?
I'm just like trying new things.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I've been playing Raging Bolt for a year and a half at this point. Like,
And to
I
be
don't want
fair,
a break.
you've had good success with it. It's done well
Yeah.
for you. And yes, this is how I feel about Dragapult. I have
Yeah.
played Dragapult for 2 years at this point.
Way too long, Dan. Way
is it, 2 years?
too long.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years.
Way too long.
It's been a while. Now, granted, it's been good. But, all right, and so we are actually going to see Hide and Sneak versus a 1-prize deck in
Fleed.
Festival Lead. How do you feel about this matchup?
I feel like Festival Lead into other 1-prizers is just like so good. Because they can go like back-to-back KO.
So it is
Except
so
against Delmise.
well, and that's exactly it. Is so good if you can clear a single prize in one attack, and if you can't, oh boy.
Yeah, I feel like you're fine because eventually you'll be able to, right? Like,
Yes.
there'll be enough like tiny Pokemon to where you can go like KO, or you can like Gladeon works against everything, right?
It does, and
Like,
that's why it's so strong.
Like you can go Gladeon KO and be in a fine spot.
And I think that's what Rafal's going to have to play for if Kevin streams Delmise here.
Yeah.
But this is another deck where if you had more of the spread, you literally delete this deck in 2 attacks.
Is the spread
4 damage counters on everybody.
not if Rafal puts Rabska in play?
And that is the risk. If Rabska's in play, then it does not.
Yes.
But that's why you have Delmise.
Yeah, so you can boss KO the. Does the deck play boss?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And it should. It better play boss. 13 Degrees, Lost Zone Kyogre. That deck was wild. And I don't think we're
Yeah.
quite at that power level, but this is pretty good.
Yeah. What does the Banette do?
So the Banette is actually really cool. So it has 1 attack for 1 Psychic, does 80 damage. Search your deck for a card.
Okay.
And so that's pretty good in general.
So it knocks out like Diplins and it knocks out Diplins.
It does. And this is actually the best supporter for this new deck. This is Gwyn. And dude, this draw supporter is so good.
This card is pretty sick. Just being able to like say, oh, discard 2 things that I need discarded and draw 6 cards.
And what 6 cards did Kevin just see there? Holy.
I mean, like, he'll have his whole board set up, right? Like,
he will, and he's going to have an opportunity to knock out this Grookey. And that's insane.
yeah.
All right, well, this is insane if Kevin goes about this in the way to actually take the knockout. Because Kevin does need 2 more hide-and-sneak Pokemon in the discard.
Can Banette attack, or does it need hide-and-seek Pokemon in this card?
Banette can just attack as is.
Okay. Does Delmise have 2 retreat?
It does.
Oh, okay. Well.
Correct.
Well.
And so this is the issue. Kevin does need 1 more hide-and-seek Pokemon in the discard, but he does have access to that Prism Tower.
Yeah.
So Kevin can Ultra Ball for another hide-and-sneak Pokemon, and then Prism Tower.
Prism Tower, discard that one, plus any other of the cards in his hand.
Correct. Or he could have just used that Pokepad and discarded the thing he got with the Pokepad.
Correct, because then this Ultra Ball finds the Banette, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, listen, efficiency maybe isn't key. But yes, we're going to get the knockout.
Yeah, we're able to take the knockout here, while also playing Buddy Buddy to set up our board. So here, I think we just want like a Dunsparce plus that.
And so this is the tricky part. With a very thin line of this Sinistra, it is Delmise has 3 retreat. It has 3 retreat, correct.
Okay, well,
yes, 3 retreat is bad.
Either way, it can't retreat this turn, plus have a Banette attack.
And so Jacob, Fluttermane, I think, is a very interesting one because you can apply really good pressure, and they can't actually use their ability. And that's pretty sick.
That is pretty good.
The question is, I don't know how you accelerate to it fast enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, are we able to get the attack off often enough?
And I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But so the anchor is a big old boy, but Prism Tower will allow okay.
We can't even like, play it though.
We can't. But next turn, that card's gonna feel really good.
Is it like Kevin doesn't have much?
Well, Kevin's gonna take a prize. Could be able to use Bayonet to follow up, but it's just a good card, man.
Yeah, it's a good card. I just don't know if we're gonna be able to use it.
And that's fair, actually, because we do have, or Kevin does have Gwyn in hand.
Yeah.
And, okay, Rafal's unfortunately using Prism Tower to try to play the game.
Okay,
and
so
all it gets him is a Grookey.
Our deck is bad.
Oh, Jacob, that makes a ton of sense. So not using Fluttermane as an attacker, but just using it as a pivot to limit the Festival Lead to 1 attack each turn.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It does, it does. And this is, unfortunately, not the way we want this game to go.
Well, so, like, now Secret Box is good because now we just, like, search the lilies and take knockout, and Rafal can't do anything.
I will say, I actually don't think you use Secret Box this turn at this point.
You don't think so? You think we just chill?
I think you just Gwyn.
Okay.
Because there's a Gwyn in hand.
Well, doesn't Gwyn have to be Pokemon?
It does. So there was a Dunsparce in hand and a Pokepad. So if it were me, I would rather just burn those with Gwyn and save Secret Box for a higher impact turn. Because right now, you're getting rid of a supporter, getting rid of a Night Stretcher, getting rid of an energy, and I don't know what it's getting you.
I think just like a hand reset plus Prism Tower to discard this Festival Grounds, even though it doesn't matter this turn, it's nice to force Rafal to find another one, right? Like in future turns, if this game goes that long. Or we're just attacking.
And honestly,
chilling.
that's fine.
Yeah.
You're applying so much pressure. Rafal's got nothing going on. And it is indeed a Lilies for Rafal. Able to play, but this may be too little too late.
Yeah, we might be a turn or two too late.
Maybe more than that. Are you seeing a line? Because I'm not seeing a line. Is there a line? Eli is pondering here.
Because Kevin goes take knockout, Rafal goes knockout, knockout.
Ah, so that's a good
Like-
question. Can Rafal go knockout,
if
knockout?
Rafal can go like 2 knockouts each turn, then yes.
What were you saying, Bryce?
He's not taking a knockout this turn.
No, not this turn, but like
The following
the
turn.
following turn. If Rafal can go like double KO over 3 turns back to back, there's a chance. Now, am I saying it's a good chance? No.
But
it
I'm saying there's a chance.
is a chance.
So I would say if Rafal does go that line and he is able to take a double knockout next turn, I actually think Kevin just goes with Sinistcha twice. Because Ravska's already in the discard. Like, there's no Reller on the board.
That is true. And you will see if Kevin sees that line.
I would be curious. But I will say, I'm going to keep saying this, I think this deck needs to be built differently. So I'm curious if Sunday people bring it to spread and see where it goes.
Yeah.
And yes, Jacob, exactly.
However, how are we getting this Delmise out of the active?
It's only if the Delmise goes down. If Rafal lets
Sure,
Kevin keep attacking each turn, great.
But at that point, like, all of the apples are evolved, right?
But it's still only 2 Sinistcha attacks.
Sure. But if we can, like, KO both Sinistchas.
Well, I mean, that's definitely true. But so we do see the secret box for Kevin. What is Kevin even getting with this?
I think he's, like, grabbing a Lily's to reset his hand.
I will say, I don't know if I love getting rid of the Night Stretcher there.
I agree. Night Stretcher is always just a good card. I think we could just discard the... What are we...
I feel like the telepathic energy probably would have been better to get rid of.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, there you go. We just get rid of Clefairy. Get that on out of here.
Yeah. That works.
And Kevin actually does see the Sinistcha, which could be good if he decides the best route to win is to go spread twice.
Mm-hmm. So the thing about Rafal's Festival Lead deck is that it does have a Force of Vitality in it.
It does.
So if for some reason, if Kevin does go with the Sinistcha, we can just like go Reller Rabska and say no.
Very true. And if Rafal has the line to do that, then Rafal has a good deck.
Yeah.
And I think it is good for Kevin to account for that, though, because it's still going to be tough for Rafal to get through multiple Delmise each turn.
That's very true. Because this first one we'll be able to get through, but the second one we won't.
Yes.
Oh, we're grabbing a boss?
What do you think about that decision? Especially since we just discarded a boss.
Do we not have Lilies in deck?
I have no idea. I didn't. To be fair, I wasn't looking for it because I just assumed that was what he was going to grab.
I thought so too.
I think we're doing some math on how many hidden sneakers are in there right now.
Yeah, there's 5 in the discard.
And this is one thing. For that Sinistcha, you do need 6 hidden sneakers in the discard in order to use the attack.
Yeah. So there was a Lilies in deck. So I'm really curious as to why Kevin didn't grab one. Maybe he just wants to like hopefully runaway draw into 2 Pokemon to then Gwyn and just say hopefully I get there to use a draw supporter this turn.
That's extremely reasonable.
Or maybe he wants to he might be thinking boss KO Thwacky.
Which is also reasonable.
Yeah.
And I will say, preventing a Boom Boom Groove at all does not seem like a bad idea.
Yeah.
And there's a Lily's Image.
There's
And well, no, because we were just
search judge.
Yeah. All right, Eli.
I
got nothing, dog.
I don't know.
I do think, though, that he is going to go with the boss on this Thwacky.
Yeah, boss Thwacky would be pretty good with Rafal only having 2 cards in it, it looks like.
Oh, but well, I guess this is fine.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't love this decision is I would so much rather Kevin be able to go into a Delmise rather than this Bayonet, since this Bayonet can be one-shot with half of your Festival Lead attacks.
I agree. I think if we just have a board full of Delmise, I don't think Kevin can ever lose.
Agreed. And so now Kevin gonna have to choose to boss or one of the other supporters in hand, but I gotta imagine boss is correct.
Yeah, boss seems very, very good with Rafal having 2 cards in hand.
Yes, agreed. All right, so then with this boss, how does Rafal respond?
We'll see if he has anything in hand to play the game.
Getting the Prism Tower down, and I mean, at this point, Kevin, I would just ditch that Lily's Clefairy and a Gwyn. Or not.
Well, we bossed, so we can't.
No, with the Prism Tower.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes, and Gwyn actually only works with not.
Oh,
wow! Okie dokie!
Let's see what these 8 cards are.
Well, they can't be that bad, I say, imagining them being bad.
I mean, like, they can.
Do we really? I mean, really, all Rafal needs is one Thwacky, and everything is fine. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're cruising. He did also need a Festival Lead Pokemon, but he's cruising right now. We see Double Diplin. We see a Thwacky. We see more energy. Rafal is going crazy over here. And then Rafal's going to be able to take at least one prize this turn. And kind of like we talked about, if he can start taking double prizes from here, he could be in a good spot.
Yeah, but I think Kevin just pushes up another Delmise, and then we aren't streaming double KOs, right? Because it has 140?
Yes, it has 140. So he's going to be able to take a KO and a half each turn.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunately not enough. So then for Rafal, is there any way to play around that on his end?
I don't think so. Because we supported this turn, so we can't Gladian. I think we're just too far behind now at this point.
And I think this is tough. Rafal may still have to go with the Relor here just to protect from that Sinistra spread. Since I think Kevin's got close to enough Hide and Sneakers in the discard to do it.
Yeah, does Relor have 40 or 50 HP?
50.
Okay, so it's safe from one.
Yes.
From a spread.
All right, so Buddy Poffin played, and it looks like
grabbing an Applin?
Another Grookster. Yeah, so just deciding to say, you know what? He's not going to Sinistra me. There's no way. There is a way.
Interesting.
Yes.
Maybe we're thinking if the Delmise gets pushed, he can't Sinistra me anyways, right?
Fair point.
And if the Banette gets pushed, then we're kind of okay.
You're taking 2 prizes.
Yeah.
And yes, Jacob, I think Gladion's going to be a key piece. And now this is something we were talking about deck building earlier. If Rafal's going to be using Gladion, which lets your non-EX Pokemon do 80 more damage to each attack, that could be a big deal. But man, you're going to have to build this Festival Lead deck in a very different way.
Yeah.
And that is not always going to be easy.
Mm-hmm. And the Delmise does get pushed.
Maybe Bob can we go to 2 next turn? Chasing aggressively the Sinistra attack. And yeah, Morganti, I agree. I think the Sinistra would have been the move here, but Kevin's probably fine with just taking another prize here.
Yeah. The problem is if Rafal can, like, KO this, and then Kevin doesn't have an energy for the following Delmise?
So Kevin has the Bayonet attack set up. So Kevin just needs a single energy to take his next 3 prizes.
Is there an air balloon?
There is not. But Kevin can go into Delmise. So let's walk through. Come join us on this journey, team.
So this Delmise gets KO'd.
Yes.
We promote new Delmise. Oh, there is an air balloon in hand. Never mind.
Okay.
Ignore what I'm saying.
We're fine. We're good. We're cooking. But so even if you do, this Delmise gets knocked out, promote next Delmise gets hit into. Take a prize. Put down another Delmise. This Delmise gets knocked out. Rafal goes down to 2 prizes. You can promote anything that gets knocked out and then just go into either a Delmise or a Bayonet to win the game. So I think, unfortunately for Rafal, Kevin is just far enough ahead.
Not if we whiff energy on this next Delmise, though.
I really need to make sure that is clear criteria. Assuming we find third energy.
Okay.
Yes. If Kevin finds another energy to attack, he's got the game in the bag. If he does not, we certainly do not have the game in the bag.
Okay.
All right, so then I got to imagine Kevin has to use this Prism Tower here to try to draw, right?
Yeah, I think we're just, like, I guess not.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, yeah. All right, so he does hit the lilies off the prizes, which makes this a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
Oh, and Rafal going into this, good top deck of the Seeking.
Is Seeking good enough?
So I think what Rafal's saying is he's going to be able to pull off a Gladian play, and that will allow
sure.
Seeking to clean anything from the board,
Yep, that makes sense.
which I actually don't mind. And Pure Learn, no, there was no bracket tonight. We were doing some testing and prep for our charity event on Sunday of trying out the new Pitch Black formats. And tonight was a pre-release at the store.
Yeah, and we were just playing King of the Hill. So whoever won their game kept playing. The other person switched with one of the people who are on commentary.
And fun fact, I did not win a single game tonight. So it's a pleasure to hang out with you all.
I think I won one of my 3.
And it was against me, so you are welcome for that help there, bud. All right, and so Rafal, I think, making a great call. He is going to use the Prism Tower to thin down his hand and use this Gladion.
Yes. Is he going to be able? So we're Prism Towering for 1. Hopefully it's a playable card.
Is it?
It's a Bangle.
Oh, that is perfect.
So then we grab our Ultra Ball.
Ultra Ball away, Boss, and Bangle.
Oh, do we have Festival Ground?
Yes,
Plus-
Festival Ground Gladion is in hand.
Okay.
And then you are not allowed to Ultra Ball for an air balloon, but...
So we're Ultra Balling for an Applin, using the 3rd Boom Boom Groove for an air balloon.
And all of a sudden, Rafal is going to take 2 prizes and draw 4 cards. This is actually a great turn for him.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem is that Kevin can go into, but next turn does it just search an energy, right?
Yes. And I think, honestly, you just feed the Sinistro, right?
Yeah, or the Delma is like fine.
Yeah, feeding 8 Delma is fine. So the one wrinkle here is Bayonetta's not knocking out Seeking. Seeking has 110 health.
Oh, it doesn't.
So Kevin needs to find an energy. All right,
Yeah,
well, all
okay,
right,
well-
yeah, that's fine. Okay. The drama is quickly ceased when Kevin just top decks what he needs.
Every time.
Oh, dang. Yeah, no, yeah, do that. Do that. He may have been thinking to put an air balloon on it, but just put up the Delmise. This is all fine. I think Kevin is a little worried about not having a follow-up attacker, but Kevin, you have Bayonet. Unless I'm missing something, Eli.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think Kevin's just overthinking it.
Very possible. And so Kevin will be able to put down another Dunsparce just to keep drawing if needed. Lily's in hand. The telepathic energy is available. And
Like, Rafal doesn't play any hand disruption, right?
correct. Jacob, we may just be energizing his hand with exactly
I
what
feel
he
like
needs.
Kevin just top decks everything every time.
Listen, they always have it. Eli
I never do.
demonstrating that they always have it and we never do. All right, but so for Kevin, using this Ultra Ball, discarding, just kind of trying to thin out the deck because the only thing he needs this next turn is already on the board. So I don't actually know what we're thinking.
I don't know either.
So then Kevin has the Lilies, and I will say I still recommend playing it out because even though Kevin may know it, Rafal could be playing Rillaboom. Rafal could be playing something weird that could put Kevin in a bad spot.
Maybe there's a red card for some reason in Rafal's deck.
Absolutely. Or he could be playing Blood Moon Ursa Luna still. That card does exist, everyone. It is legal for play. But Kevin does take his second to last prize. It is another energy. So yeah, we're fine. So now for Rafal, is there any way to win this game?
Don't think so.
I concur with your assessment. And dude, Rafal's deck is like empty too.
Yeah, there's like 8 cards in deck.
So this is something with like the new festival lead. You're gonna have to have it built to play that Gladion.
Yeah.
Which means you're gonna have to be willing to burn away a lot more resources.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a way for Rafal to win here. Because we would have needed to second Gladian here, and even that's still not enough because we're still at 3 prize cards. So.
And that's exactly it. It was second Gladian. The only way Rafal would win is if Kevin, for some reason unbeknownst to mankind, fed him Bayonet.
The Bayonet.
And I would assume Kevin would not promote Bayonet.
I would hope so.
Correct. I would hope that Kevin would not promote Bayonet. But Rafal is at least going to take 1 knockout here.
Yeah.
And I mean, Eli, did we learn anything about this matchup watching this game?
Don't brick your opening, Rafal.
Wait, Rafal actually had the out to Gladion, a second Gladion in hand, and just is unable to pull it off. And Kevin takes the last knockout, closing out the game. So, Eli, what are your thoughts from the games we played today?
Don't play against Kevin because he top decks every time.
That is good advice.
The new decks are interesting. Excadrill seems like it's okay. I just feel like it doesn't have enough onboard draw to maintain like what it needs.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a big attacker that sits in the active that you don't have a draw engine. So if you don't have boss in your hand, you need it, like you don't ever get into said boss.
And I think that's the big issue is the actual stats on the card are fantastic. Yeah. There's a clear energy acceleration plan to get that into play, and then that is where the deck runs out of good things to say about it.
Because your board has to be full of Matangs to play the game. Yes. You don't have any way to play a draw engine that then lets you play the game. Right?
Exactly. No, and I think, so we learned that about Excadrill, which still seems like it has the power. It needs to be designed better.
Yeah.
I say the same thing about Hide and Sneak. The power is there. It is cool. I got a little low rolled into Rafal, finding the 1 secret box, but I think there is a lot of potential, and Excadrill is definitely a Kevin deck. Ovi, dude, Gladion is so good at Okidogi, but Okidogi I don't think is good still, but Godspeed.
Don't think it is either.
And Kenneth, thank you for joining us. And if there's Drillblers, it has to be good. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and close it out, but just one more time, if you don't mind throwing it up, Bryce. This Sunday, this is our Super Bowl. We have a summer charity tournament with all of the funds going to the Ronald McDonald House charities. And Eli, tell them what we got for prizes on Sunday.
We have mats. We have whoever wins the event is getting a box.
And a trophy.
And a trophy. I forgot about the trophy.
Yes, Reno made us a trophy, which I'm not going to bring down because it's delicate.
Sick.
It is a sick trophy.
Michael walked past it while we were playing. I was like, trophy? There's a bunch of playmats that we're giving out, right?
Yep, championship playmats.
There's
there will
plushes.
Plushies will have exclusive deck boxes and sleeves. We have playmats. We have an ETB and multiple pre-release packs that are also in prizing. So there's good stuff, man.
Yeah. It's a very exciting weekend. Hopefully we can outdo ourselves from last year.
Yes, try and do a little good for the world. So if you are in the Chicago general geographic area, come play. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, and we will have shiny cards, secret rares on auction at way below actual market value for all of the auction value, whatever, going straight to charity. So
I did not know that.
Yes.
That's gonna be a fun time.
Yes, exactly. That's my donation to the event. But we would love to see you here Sunday. Thank you all very much for coming to hang out with us here tonight. And like we said, 11 a.m. Sunday morning, we will see you here at Nerd Rage Gaming.
Yes.